Okay, hello. What's up, y'all? What is up? Let me see if I can get that going. Focus. There you go. Wow. StreamYard. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah. A multiversal morning. There you go. That's what's going on. What is up? Brooklyn, how you doing? You Mike Tyson somebody? What's up? All right. Yep, streaming today on both Twitch and YouTube. Let's see how well this goes. We'll be talking about a few things here. Let me know if you guys can hear me here. What's going on? Oh, busy.
Sorry, there was a change in.
We just ordered
Content.
lunch. We just ordered lunch. So, yeah. Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. That will work. StreamYard is not always the best. Yeah. What mouth? Exactly. Exactly. All right. So, you know what?
Took me a moment. It's like, yeah.
I completely agree. Yeah. Could you imagine what if she said, "What dick"? Yeah.
Oh damn.
What dick? Yeah.
She kind of said that to Miss Fantastic. It was like, not so fantastic now, are you?
Well, he turned into wacky inflatable tube man. Wacky inflatable tube. All right. So, I guess first and foremost, let's get the Moon Knight, DC's opinion on Moon Knight season finale out the way first, and then we'll get into the Doctor Strange call-in and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. Short, because it even took me a while, for obvious reasons. But watching it, I thought it was interesting that they introduced a Egyptian superhero, which was kind of cool. I know some people don't like
Jewish
the aesthetics of her costume because it reminds me of so many other things. And I'm hey, welcome to the superhero realm. Someone has something similar to someone else. It's gonna happen. I thought she looked great. Story-wise, I liked it. I like that they didn't introduce all three personalities at once because I think it would have taken away from the show. Maybe having some of the reveals 1 or 2 episodes earlier, I think would have been fine.
It seemed like typical,
but yeah,
typical Disney Plus fashion. They always introduce a new episode. It's always like the last episode they introduce like a new person to kind of. It's their
new person, or they've had
new
their
power
revelation by the end of the 5th episode. Exactly. The 6th episode is like, well, all right, we're gonna have our fight, deal with it. All right, let's move on. It's like, whatever. So it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. Oscar Isaac, I think, did a great job of portraying 2 different characters throughout the series, and then at the end portraying a third. I have to wait and see because it was a matter of you didn't get that much time with him. Camera angle was done specific way, so it's like you only get, the side of his face, but we knew who it was, and he didn't really say or do much. Carry a body. I'm like, what's up? That was it. So seeing where he goes with his character in the next season will be interesting because I think it'll go slightly darker than the first season, kind of like Multiverse of Madness, where it was just like dark. So that'll be interesting. But all in all, I enjoyed the show. The pacing wise, I think if I were to go back and watch it and put the episodes together, I think I might like the pacing more.
Okay.
Would I recommend it to someone? I would because it is different from most of the stuff that we have seen as far as lore and gods, cultures, things of that nature. It's a nice change of pace. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The watching the scenes of him being traumatized from his childhood and like why he was traumatized from his childhood was actually really hard to watch. But I also think that for some mediums, it's necessary to show that so people know that it's okay, that if you went through that or you're going through that it's okay to get help. It's okay to ask for help. And just because those things happen to you doesn't mean that you are quote unquote unsalvageable or broken. So the things dealing with mental health throughout the show I thought was interesting. The conversation between him and Harl was like, okay. Harl just like ended up being OP.
Yeah.
It's like he's got the cane. And he's like,
it was
hey,
weird.
What's up?
Yeah.
It was weird, but it was not unexpected.
Right.
Because it's like it's not like they introduced Doctor Doom or someone into it. So it's like, well, he kind of has to have some power because
that's a good point.
When you have Khonshu, he has to have someone to deal with. Well, that's Harl's god. Then you have Amit. So then what do you do with Harl? Well, he's got to fight somebody. So it made sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So just looking forward to see what they do with the second season to see if it's going to be very similar or drastically different.
I hope they do one. Yeah, they haven't announced it.
If they didn't do one, I think it would be a disservice.
Crime, yeah.
It'd be a disservice to not just Mark Spector's character, but it'd be a disservice to his wife's character. Because like you introduced her and you showed her do some things, well, you're not going to do anything with her. Now, if they do the opposite, where the second season is focused mainly around her, and you have Mark playing in the background, I'm okay with that too. If it's similar to the pacing that we had in this,
though, what's weird
to a point, not the entire season, but at least a couple episodes.
But the thing about Layla is the fact that her whole thing was it's supposed to be temporary, so
that's where it starts. Because can't you see that Mark took the power from Khonshu being temporary, and it just ended up being longer than he promised?
I see.
So, but either way, I was happy with the show overall. It served its purpose.
Yeah.
If they did a second season, I'd be happy to watch it. If they didn't, just like, kind of wish you would.
I wonder if there were
they do a movie instead.
No,
or they would. Do you think it would serve the character better to do a second season or to do a standalone movie?
A second season, because if they did a movie, they would have to retell the story again.
Why?
Because I've noticed that they really do, even though the Disney Plus shows are kept within the MCU area, they don't really address them at all, like in the movies. Like,
okay.
So,
and even in the show, like it was quite light.
And look at like
MCU,
and look at WandaVision, for example. WandaVision versus Doctor Strange. You don't need to watch WandaVision. It helps.
But
it's not supplemental.
Or now, what if?
Now, Moon Knight, you'd have to, like, you can't just have him just show up and that's that.
Because he hasn't technically been introduced to a lot of people. Because if they haven't seen Disney Plus, they wouldn't know. Well, I mean, they could do that. And then instead of doing that, the big story they did, just soft retelling it.
And or if he were going to be in the movie world, it would have to be the Midnight Suns or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that. So he would be
I'd be okay with that.
He'd be introduced, but he'd just be introduced as a guy who speaks to gods or something like that.
Or a guy that may have some information to give to
to
the first movie film's main character.
Correct. And then they just would talk to, they kind of introduce him as a schizophrenic type of dude or whatever. And then that's it. Like, it's an interesting thing the way they're dealing with because for me, I feel like this is the first time the Doctor Strange has even addressed a Disney Plus show in briefly without needing to watch a Disney Plus show. It's the first time it's actually paid off,
that, and it wasn't around during the first movie, so it kind of makes sense they would tie it into it. And because so many things have happened in the real world outside of entertainment, there's like you kind of need
you're right about
tie
that.
these streams and thoughts together, so that kind of works.
Because that's also the argument. I'm very curious to see if Loki was even if there was even any sort of point to watching Loki when we get into the Ant-Man story, because that's where that crossover is supposed to happen. So Cause I remember people thought Loki was going to show up in the Multiverse of Madness, and I was like, right, because it deals with the multiverse. Yeah,
but I think from the next film, if they were going to go the route of something like Dark Avengers or something like that, where you're using people dealing with supernatural or specifically magic, I could see Loki, Strange, Clea, maybe even Wanda at some point being together to stop something later on down the line. I could see that. Or taking the next installment of Doctor Strange and making his film, the in-game Avengers event, to in the phase kind of thing. I could see that.
Well, the biggest theory here is that they're gonna do Secret Wars.
Well, yeah, but Secret Wars is Disney Plus.
No, that's Secret Invasion.
So Secret Invasion is basically going to introduce Secret Wars.
That we don't know either.
But that would make sense because of Secret Invasion and what happened in this film. That's what inadvertently creates Secret Wars. Possibly. Because you're dealing with the incursion and those like whatever.
Possibly, but the whole thing, possibly. Maybe. I would even argue maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, the last one. If there were anybody to kind of start a Secret Wars kickoff, it'd probably be Guardians of the Galaxy because they're the only they're the ones that deal with, or
because of Lady Thor.
No, or just they're the ones that deal with the most cosmic outside of, I was going to say Eternals, but because Eternals didn't perform well enough that I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't be that, because to my knowledge, if I remember, the Secret Wars is all about the Beyonder, and it's these cosmic beings that are playing chess with our heroes. So
and we have Adam Warlock coming also.
We do have, so I'm pretty much assuming that it's probably going to be something between Adam Warlock and Thanos' brother that we saw at the end of Eternals.
Between the two of them?
Like, it'll be something of those.
Oh, like they're against each other, or you just mean story-wise like between the two of them?
No, yeah. It'll be that world. It'll be that kind of world where they're gonna be like, okay, here's my team, and here's this team, like that, and they're gonna be pulling people like that.
Because I would feel sorry for Thanos' brother.
Yeah, it's also it's a very multiversal heavy story. So that's the biggest theory right now. But I think I still think we have a very, very long way to go until we can get there. Like he and I were talking about it right now. I honestly don't even think Kevin Feige has a concrete plan yet, because as we've been seeing with
I think he does, but he just hasn't.
Right. He hasn't implemented it yet.
Right.
Because as we've noticed, like it's been 2 years now, even granted pandemic and things like that.
Superman.
But all the end credits haven't really led up to anything yet.
Yeah, a lot of
outside of Shang-Chi. That's the only one. That's the only one right now that it's giving you something that there's something more in the future. So.
With the exception of Doctor Strange and going into the dark.
I would say multiverse. But even that felt like it was more of a Doctor Strange focus situation.
Okay.
Whereas the end of Shang-Chi was like, okay,
about the 10 rings and it being
and
something
like, and we're seeing everybody kind of coming together. Yeah.
Why not complaining, but curious. Why do you think the rings weren't mentioned at all in Doctor Strange? Especially since Wong was the last one to deal with those or look at them.
I don't think they really had time. And on top of that, to my knowledge, I think Strange was shot before.
It was shot before Shang-Chi,
right?
And it was delayed.
Right. That's the thing. So that's the other thing. Okay. That's the other reason. So that, because if you actually think about it in some ways, that kind of makes sense, because you don't see Wong ever really bring up that he's the Sorcerer Supreme at all. Like in Shang-Chi, he kind of just is kind of like there,
That's right, and his hair isn't as long,
right?
Either. Yeah, okay,
He's got that image of like he's just Wong. Like
he's
you don't once think
he's sidekick Wong,
right? Exactly. So you can kind of see there's a little difference there on top of that. And then we have the Thanos' brother. I keep forgetting his name. He's showing up sooner or later.
Yeah,
but I don't know now with the performance of Eternals.
But does he have to? There's nothing against Harry Styles, but it's like, does he have? Do you think his character is necessary for the story from this point on? And the reason I say it, because like you mentioned, Eternals, you have people that enjoyed the movie, but it didn't really feel necessary for MCU. Where
they're going, I think they do, because if they're going to be trying to play a multiversal thing, it can't be street characters. It can't be the realistic ones or the relatable ones. It's got to be the cosmic ones. Yeah.
So, do you think, was it Thor: Love and Thunder? You know how God Killer is basically going around, right? And there's that. Apparently, there's a scene taken straight from the comic books where they're looking at this giant beast that was taken down.
Correct.
Do you think they will try tying that in to Celestial that has been defeated on Earth? That's basically just still laying half there. Do you think they will tie that together at any point in time?
No, because not to
since we're dealing with cosmic powers.
Not to really spoil anything, but who Christian Bale is going to be playing?
Godkiller, right?
Yeah, that's completely
that's because it was like that's kind of like a no-brainer. It's like he's playing one of the most iconic characters there. Right. He's definitely not Hercules because
but what I'm trying to say is like that's his whole thing. That's going to just be his whole story.
Oh, okay. So there,
he doesn't give two shits about like he's got a mat on for all gods. He's like, I will kill all gods and everything.
Right.
So, that's it. So that's just going to to be, if they go that route, like now knowing Taika and what they did with Ragnarok, they could totally destroy the story just like they screwed up Planet Hulk. And, people loved Ragnarok, but,
Ragnarok was good, but
I would have liked to have
seen
they didn't
Planet
have
Hulk. Confidence in doing
a darker story.
Yeah, because at that time it's like, well, we've already done this to this group of people, that to that group of people, so we don't want to do something dark. But that was the perfect time to do it. They should have done something.
But to be fair, I think it paid off for them in the long run because people complain so much about the dark world not being fun. So.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The dark world is supposed to be geared towards Thor, not Hulk. Not doing Planet Hulk, I feel like
is a disservice.
Yeah. Yeah, like twofold because that, and then also his fight with Thanos, not getting the opportunity to fight him again or do anything. I was like, but what? Of course, it's not always going to happen, but to not even approach him.
Funny enough, I just saw an article where Mark Ruffalo was saying he's passing the torch to whoever is playing She-Hulk, and I'm like, wow, but what torch? Like, when did you even get a chance? Like when...
Oh yeah. But I think he means that because he's been in how many Marvel movies?
I get that, but I'm like, and
at the same time, he still needs his own film. It'd be nice.
What? Oh, Hulk?
Yeah. Because I'm like this. Look, if the She-Hulk show is being canceled or redone, why not just have a Hulk movie with Mark Ruffalo and introduce her?
I don't even know if Universal still but Master, I see what you're saying. To be honest, I think the rights already came back to Marvel. And I know the whole reason they didn't do it. I think the rights came back along with Namor and
which is why Namor got the green light to do the movie, right?
No, I'm sorry. Namor was owned by Fox. Sorry, never mind.
But they got acquired.
Right. But Universal only had Hulk, and they were holding. I don't know if Universal still owns the rights to the Hulk movies.
I'm like this: if Disney can find a way to work with Sony, find a way to work with Universal, give us a Hulk movie.
Yeah,
get it done.
I honestly, I don't think they really.
But I don't feel like they are like. I don't think it's not important now.
I don't think it's a priority because also keep in mind it's like they've already had like 2 Hulk movies, and they got their MCU Hulk movie out the way.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
No,
and that's enough.
They did.
I think they feel that's enough. Like the only
it's like them feeling like it was enough to not do a Black Widow movie. Wait a decade. It's like you know what? It's close to the end of her contract. Let's just go ahead and do one. It's like
I honestly like okay, chat. I'm asking you guys are you interested in seeing a standalone Hulk movie? I personally am not. I am. I've seen everything I've wanted from Hulk, from a standalone Hulk movie. The only thing I might have been interested in is a Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolts with Red Hulk. But now that can't happen. So,
It could. They just passed the torch of his character down to his daughter.
I don't want that. I want it like General Ross doing Thunderbolt. Not really, especially after Endgame. Yeah, hell yes to the Hulk one. Yeah. See, like I would have loved the Planet Hulk story, but it's too late now. You can't have that anymore.
But you've introduced the multiverse. Why would it be too late?
No, I don't want to see.
You could do it, and it could be a standalone movie.
No, but I don't want to see another story, like another, universe style. Unless it's the canon 616, it's not going to be.
Oh, doing it 616, I'm perfectly fine with. But I mean, if they wanted to do a Planet Hulk and say, well, we don't want to tie it to this main storyline, and it ended up being of the multiverse, but that Hulk went there, that's fine. I don't care. For me, I feel the same way about having a standalone Hulk movie as I do about having a standalone, sorry, it's not Marvel, Superman movie. I feel like if you get the right writers, the story can be compelling enough and good enough for people to enjoy it, and it doesn't have to be tied to anything else. If you tied to something, it's great, but it doesn't have to. It's not necessary. And I think it'd be good for the fans. It'd be good for people who don't know the character. Like, that's possible.
It's interesting because I think that's what Marvel is also sort of dealing with, and Feige is dealing with in terms of the movie world. They're trying to figure that one out. Is like how much.
This doesn't feel like that has the same direction like the first phases.
How off the wall can we get our story without losing our general audience? Like that?
I think they need to do off the wall because, and hear me out, they've been doing a really good job the first phases we've had, right? And it seems like there's been a clear path of what they wanted to do. Now, because it's not dealing with, I'll call them legacy characters, and it's not an age thing, it's because we had them for so long. Now we're going in a slightly different direction, but it's not clear what direction we're going in for some viewers. For hardcore fans, we feel like we kind of have an idea, but your general audience doesn't. I kind of like that. I kind of like that they're keeping it to where it's like, it's keeping you on the edge of your seat. It's keeping it fresh and different. I don't want it to feel formulaic right now.
Right.
If you're going to say
yeah, about to. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, it's one of those where it's like I would rather them do something new, different, and outside the box now, and as we get later on down the line, start molding it into the actual direction or whatever it is that they're trying to get to. Do the new creative stuff now, because now's the time, because you have people who are just coming into the MCU.
I get it, but the point I'm trying to say is more or less like going outside of 616. That's the thing. Telling these alternative stories as a movie, I think it's not the best.
Why not? You've already done it with What If.
Yeah, but that's What If. I'm talking about movies only.
Yeah, I know, but you've done it with What If, so why not do it with the film?
That's a side thing. It's not. Again, it's like even What If is not necessary to understand the multiverse of madness.
Exactly, and that's what I mean. My point. Having your movies that are just straight MCU related in our initial 616 storyline, keep it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you want to have a movie that is slightly different, that's not tied to it, you can put it under the title of What If, and you can still do a film. If it's a marketing thing, it's like, well, we don't want to confuse people, then branded thing. It doesn't matter. In general, it would just be nice to have a film on one or two of the other characters that are in the original Avengers, because we just haven't had it, and I feel like it's long overdue.
I mean, if they did that, they would have. Yeah, they literally would. But I think it's the same problem that they have with the comics, is the fact that they have the Marvel Knights label.
I think the comic books have maybe too many side labels. So I get that.
That's the problem that it would be. It was like you're gonna end up having the X-Men problem, where it's kind of like, wait, so what world is it? What is dealing with that? Or even coming up the Transformers situation. So
Beast Wars.
Yeah, or the new
that's right.
The Bumblebee thing, and people think it's connected to the old ones or the but
Michael it's Generation Bay. 1.
It's a completely it gets kind of confusing after a while for the average person. You're gonna get the comparison. Or the best example is the Spider-Man. The Spider-Man.
Which one?
That's the problem, because
because they kept switching characters. Yep. But we've had Mark Ruffalo for how long now?
I get
so if he's in the movie, I mean, it's easy tying. It's like,
I know what you're saying, but like I see where that is, but it's kind of like one of the other reasons why, if Robert Downey Jr. came back in Multiverse of Madness, it'd be kind of cool, but at the same time, I'm like, wait, you just brought him back to kill him?
Yeah, but and not just that, but it's like the other difference is Robert Downey Jr. has had how many standalone movies?
Yeah.
Captain America, standalone movies. Thor, standalone movies. That's what I mean. It's like having Hulk have his own film could be fun and interesting and a nice palette cleanse and departure from what we're dealing with now. If you don't want to direct it, if you don't want to tie it into a main storyline, it could happen during the timeline, but it doesn't have to affect anything that's going on.
Okay. I would disagree with all of that.
Why is he now back in Bruce Banner form as opposed to Hulk form from Endgame?
Yeah.
And his arm in the sling still, or is it healed?
I know. I
know the movie could be about that right there.
Fine. But in terms of actually retelling Planet Hulk, no.
It doesn't have to be about Planet Hulk.
I wanted World War Hulk, but they're not going they're not going to go that route either. So it's
they're like, we'll give you Secret Wars instead.
We'll see.
Everybody's a damn scroll.
To me, there hasn't been a really good Marvel movie since Winter Soldier. Well, that's your opinion, I guess. Budget. That's why he's back to Bruce Banner. You're right about that one. We'll see how they handle.
I'm sure that has something to do with it.
We'll see how they handle the Disney the She-Hulk movie or TV show. How often they're going to be hulked out in that story? We shall see.
That or should just be hulked up the whole time.
Okay, we talked about Moon Knight and all that. We had a private discussion already. It's on YouTube right now if you want to see the spoiler talk about Doctor Strange too. One of the topics that one of the biggest topics that we were kind of talking about was the fact that the cameos were like in retrospect, at that moment in time, I thought it was pretty hype. I wish Marvel didn't spoil it.
He got spoiled. I didn't see any of that stuff he was talking about. And then after we watched the movie, he's like, they released this stuff online before. Why would they do that?
It's so annoying that they even not watching it, they spoiled it in the thumbnail. Like you saw Captain Carter's shield in the fucking thumbnail, and I'm just like, damn, man, it would have been cool. But luckily, and again, spoilers, guys. Luckily, I turned off all my social media before the Reed Richards leak came out.
I just stayed offline anyway.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting people complaints like, how come you're not online? It's like, because of that.
Yep.
Don't want to get spoiled by stuff. And I agree with Kevin Feige. That someone saying that too many things are being released in the trailer or in promotional stuff, and it's taking away from the fans. I agree. That's why I keep it down to maybe I'll watch a teaser trailer, and maybe if there is an official trailer after that, that's the last thing I watch.
However,
TV spots and stuff, I say don't care.
One thing I will say is, it's very possible because of all the delays. I'm pretty sure the agencies or whoever is controlling the marketing they got nervous because the final
they want to make sure people go out.
Because the final trailer came out like 3 months before the movie came out.
Yeah, that's another thing.
It came out really early, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, so I'm gonna have to wait 2 more months. But I'm like, obviously the TV spots were going to come out, but they were like, I'm pretty sure they needed like one more sort of push because, respectively for fans and Disney Plus fans, WandaVision fans, Wanda is enough to carry the show.
Yep.
Strange he's the main guy, but I don't think he's the biggest draw. Interesting enough. Coming off of No Way Home, yes, there is hype. That's why they tried to make it seem like Multiverse of Madness was connected to what Strange did in No Way Home. Hence, they had a trailer. They had a whole fucking trailer for Multiverse of Madness right after No Way Home finished.
Right.
And he's like,
is that true? Why he doesn't have approval of the trailers anymore?
Oh, no, that's just Darth stating something. But here's the thing: is like, so something you guys got to remember is like, he's got bigger things that he's dealing with, right? And Disney hires people to cut trailers, and they hire agencies to deal with it. So, for example, the people that were promoting Zack Snyder's Justice League, It was an agency that contacted me to do something. It's not directly Warner Brothers or anybody like that.
It was outsourced.
Agencies are outsourced to handle this stuff, so they put it together the way they want. And my biggest guess is the fact that they got a little nervous and they were like, well, fuck, we really want opening weekend to be big, so let's start teasing it for people that kind of forgot. Because I remember even
because it kept getting delayed.
Exactly. And I remember a week before the movie came out, I was mentioning to some people out here at a dinner that the movie's coming out next week. They're like, what really? I remember I mentioned to you and you're like, wait, it's coming out in a few days? I'm like, yeah, man, like that.
Yeah, so, because we had so many, just like what is it we watched recently and that happened?
Yeah,
because it's like it'd been delayed so many times. It's like I didn't realize it was coming out, because even on this side, like as we mentioned many times before, just because it gets released in the States doesn't mean it's coming out at the same time here. And the release date that it usually ends up being here is anywhere between 3 to 6 months later. And then if it's delayed stateside, it's delayed even longer here. So it just gets to the point where it's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Sure.
Right. And so unfortunately, that's going to be the hopefully we're going to have less and less of these delays in the future. We're still, guys, believe it or not, we are still, I know, especially for you guys in the States and around other parts of the world, we are still dealing with a pandemic, and we are still, we are still catching up from all of this. You know, they filmed Multiverse of Madness right around the same time. They were wrapping Multiverse of Madness when WandaVision was about to finish on TV. But they filmed it right around the same time. So, you know, it's just that we're catching up on all of that. So, yeah. What?
We want Emily Blunt, but we'll settle for the Jurassic Park chick. That's
who's the Jurassic? Who's
Ron Howard's daughter.
Oh, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
Really? Would you take her?
Wow. I never thought about her in that role.
She could work.
Don't get me wrong, she cool, but I hadn't thought about her for that role. I want Emily Blunt. I want Emily Blunt, not just because of fan casting kind of thing, but because I like how the two of them
chemistry
act on screen. Yeah, they just have good chemistry.
Did you feel that Doctor Strange was too Sam Raimi?
No.
Okay.
That's one of those things where it's like,
yeah.
You can't say it's too Raimi, because Raimi has had a good chunk of time where he hasn't done any big budget films in between. So it's like what you're comparing it to are, you know, cult classics and horror movies, stuff like that. So what? You know, if those tricks worked on no budget, they work even better on a larger budget.
Right.
Why wouldn't you just enjoy it?
I liked his style. I thought it was very refreshing.
It was nice to see something different.
I will say it was a little on the nose with the jump scares, and it's like, okay, we get it. You did Evil Dead like that, but I like the horror aspect of the way they did that,
and I think it fit
only in this movie. Strange. Oh yeah, exactly. Now, if you were to tell me he's going to do Fantastic Four or something, I'd be like, nah, dude, we're good. Like Doctor Strange wise, cool. I'm good.
I don't know. I think it could work with Fantastic Four if the story supports that type of story. Because for the most part, it's like, well, like you mentioned, it's like, well, how are they going to explain where the Fantastic Four was the whole time? Stuck in the quantum realm. Cool. All right. Go from there. You know, and because it's the quantum realm, the things that, like when they show insects and stuff like that, they look terrifying because they look like kaiju.
Okay.
Having that kind of style could work. Doesn't have to be the entire movie.
Right.
But some things geared in that direction could work if the story can support. Everything doesn't have to be that way. But I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it being done like that. The first Strange movie was good, but it was also very in the timing, because you mentioned Inception earlier, and it's like the timing of it reminded me of Inception, not necessarily in a good or bad way, but the timing of it was so close. It's like, oh, it's Inception with magic. How a lot of people complain about it. So I get it.
Fair enough. And
the movie felt short. It didn't feel short to me.
Yeah.
I felt like it was long enough. If anything, like I mentioned to him, maybe having the Illuminati spoiler. Okay. Maybe having the Illuminati show up towards the end, either being introduced at the beginning or end, doesn't necessarily have to be a fight, and spending a little more time in one other world throughout the multiverse, just for context, or make it look a little different. I see why some people say that, but it didn't feel short. I could tell he was like, it was good, but it felt long.
What?
The movie.
Doctor Strange?
Yeah. Did it feel long to you?
No.
Because for me, I thought it was
the last 30
just
minutes
enough.
Yeah, it at like once he went into the dead body, there for me, I was kind of just like,
we're towards the end.
I'm glad we're about to wrap this up because I'm a little tired at this point. Like I was like, okay. I think it was him meeting his Darkhold self and everything, and
that part felt slow.
Right.
That part felt slow, and it actually felt like, we're basically going to reshoot the What If episode in live action.
Right.
Because some of the things that is Easter egg wise, did you notice his hands?
Yeah.
They weren't scarred up.
Right.
So it's like, hold up a second. What? His hands aren't scarred up.
Maybe.
So what happened? Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, right.
It's like, did he just, get the Darkhold upon the death of his sister? Right. And never had the accident?
Oh.
Interesting.
It felt like a WandaVision sequel than Doctor Strange. I completely disagree. And I think the biggest argument on that one is the fact that first and foremost, I thought they did a great job addressing the choice that Strange had to make in Infinity War, because a lot of people kind of forget that. It kind of was
there was only one.
It came down to him. It was his choice. I mean, he essentially went this route, and but people lost a lot. Wanda blew a hole through her husband's head and got nothing back from it.
And watched him die again.
And then the whole thing was like, Strange, are you happy? And then at the whole thing, it was about I didn't realize this until the second time around, it was the thing about Strange wants to be close, but he's afraid to be close. Yeah, and then she was like, don't be afraid anymore. So when Clea shows up at the end, he's like, are you afraid? Like that. She kind of dares him on. And it's like, it was basically, I think they did a great job of, they did a great job of basically finishing this story of him and old girl, because she's married. Now he's got to basically kind of move on, and now he's going like full-fledged from Doctor to the Sorcerer Supreme, or almost Sorcerer Supreme. We all know he's basically the Sorcerer Supreme, but now we're going to see him go a further different way. I thought they told that story really well. Wanda was used in a way that some people wouldn't agree, but rewatching the last 2 episodes of WandaVision really put a hit on it. Agatha was right. Agatha knew exactly what Wanda is and what she could be, and how she would be a threat upon the entire world. The only thing Agatha was wrong about was she didn't realize it was going to be multiple worlds, that Wanda was going to be that dangerous. So I think they did a good job of balancing everybody's story, and people may not like the fact that Wanda had she didn't have like a happy ending or whatever, but I don't think that's the point of her character. I kind of put her somewhat in the same zone as Wolverine. As Wolverine's a very popular dude. Yes, he's kind of a hero most of the time, but he's also he's everybody's favorite tragic character, is that his life doesn't really end that happy, or doesn't really end that well. And it's always bad things are happening to him. I think Wanda's somewhat around that same thing of like, she's interesting because of the fact that she has kind of a terrible life.
Because for me, I would have been happy if she had somewhat of a happy ending. Not necessarily perfect, but one of those where it's like, part of me felt like her just wiping out everybody was a bit on the nose, only because we just saw her do that with Westview, basically taking control of people. So like, I don't feel like it was necessary. I'm not dissing the movie because I really did enjoy it. So I get why they did it, but if they didn't want to go that route and they went a different route, I would have been okay with that too. Her being the big bad, I still feel on the ropes because I felt like her character didn't necessarily have to be the big bad, or be possessed by the Darkhold. And towards the end of the movie, Strange realizes that it's not Wanda she's been possessed and tries to find a way to help her. And she basically takes herself, kind of like they did at the end of the movie, traps herself away from people because she doesn't want to let it overtake her, and she harms other people.
See, I would argue, I would argue
something like that.
I would argue that this movie, one of the reasons is this movie didn't actually have a big bad. Wanda was the aggressor, but
she killed damn near everybody she came across.
But it was never a thing of like, yo, we need to take her out, we need to kill her. You always saw that Strange was holding back most of the time. Everybody was like, people were saying, look, Wanda is gone. Wong, I think the Wong is the only person that even kind of saw her as like a threat. The moment he heard Scarlet Witch, he was like, oh damn, that's the book that all Sorcerer Supremes get, where they learn about blah blah blah. And he was like, the Scarlet Witch, oh man, we gotta take this bitch out.
Right.
But I feel like always everybody was kind of sympathizing with her to the end, where even American Chavez was like, I'll give you what you want and show you. And even Strange knew that, look, they can't beat her, but they at least need to show her, okay, let her go full circle with this. Let her go through the entire cycle and see exactly how bad what it is. Yeah. So yeah,
that part's okay, but I don't know. It's like similar to, like I mentioned earlier, similar to Daenerys. It's like you spend all this time with a character that's basically on the path to do the right things, and then you just say, well, you know what? We're going to take out your sidekick, and then you're just going to snap. I'm like, but it felt light. After WandaVision, it felt like she had clear resolution, or clear enough resolution. It's like, hey, I did something that wasn't good. I need to learn to be better. And it felt like that was the second time that she did that, because when you get introduced to her, she was just brainwashed as a kid. Her and her brother, so I don't count that. What I do count is when she had the accident, and it was 12 people.
Yeah, I get you.
And she's like, I need to be better. So she gets proper training. She does whatever both Steve and Tony tell her to do, so she can try and be a better version of herself. So I was like, okay, cool. So at the end of WandaVision, it felt like that. I went way too far for whatever reasons, and I need to be better.
One thing she specifically says is, I don't understand this power, but I'm going to. Now the problem is,
right,
she went to the wrong book to understand that power.
But, and that's the other thing. It's like
she literally should have gone to Doctor Strange at that point in time. Like, yo, you're the master of mystic arts.
Yeah.
You led the team, so to speak. With the Infinity War or whatever. I need training. I need a teacher or something like
that. True, that's the logical choice. But that's also one of those things. That's the same thing that happened with Strange, thinking they could do it on their own.
Right.
That was their own downfall.
So her biggest problem was the fact that she went towards the Darkhold. Because again, rewatching,
and it got a hold of her.
Rewatching the season finale of WandaVision, it is very interesting how Agatha introduces the Darkhold.
Right.
Really quickly, and she just kind of explains, and she's like, oh, you have the power to be stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme, and then it's like that, but they don't really they
don't really do anything.
She says it's the Book of the Damned, but it's kind of just like Wanda's just like, well, okay, let me see what's up. So yes, you can argue the fact that the Darkhold took hold of her as well, but at the end of the day, it was her choice. She made the choice.
Of course. But I think she looked at the Darkhold one, because the only book that was technically available to her at the time
was the Darkhold,
and not knowing about the
Book of Ashanti. Yeah.
And then also because the souls of her kids were gone, so she picks that up, the Book of the Damned, because their souls are damned. She's like, can I bring them back? No, that's not the right decision. That's not what you should be doing at all. But I still think they could have done something different with tying in her story.
Right.
But I'm not disappointed in what I got either.
Yeah. No, I thought it was fun because, again, like I feel particularly with Marvel and Jean Grey
the snap.
Sorry. She's another good example. Is like, particularly with Marvel, they kind of like their tragic characters that aren't necessarily, they try to be the best persons, but they come up short.
Oh, definitely.
So Marvel
there's always consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
That's also something I do like about some of the MCU movies, when they're talking about specific characters, not necessarily hero or villain, but characters in general, where their choices, there's always a consequence on one side or the other.
Exactly. Accountability. And people were complaining about WandaVision is that she needed to be held accountable for the town. And I think this is it. So
yeah, she's definitely being held accountable. She's not dead. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I'm believing in the movie trope of if there's no body, but then also at the same time, with all that power, you think she's going to be like, well, you know what? I'm just going to clock out.
I'm sure in all likelihood, she will be back to some extent, whether it be Midnight Suns.
She's gonna take a back seat for a bit.
Yeah, she's no longer
character needs to cool off.
Exactly. She's no longer an Avenger, but I don't think she's a villain either. But it's gonna be one of those things of similar to like Loki or whatever, where it's kind of like
anti-hero kind of thing.
She's gonna come back for a big, like, whatever we are getting. It may not be Avengers, but whatever big ass team up movie we're gonna have in the future, it'll probably be something like that, where she shows up, she comes in, does something powerful, but before anybody can start questioning her on some shit, yeah, she's like, I'm done, like that.
I definitely feel like what they're doing is taking the quote unquote Avengers and making every last one of them a non-Avenger to start over. Because if you look at it, everybody is gone. Captain America, Steve Rogers is not there as an Avenger anymore. Tony Stark, same thing. Thor, same. Hulk, they're all somewhat disbanded. So the idea of taking Strange and Wanda out of the picture as Avengers makes sense, because you're going to start over and give us the new Avengers or something of that uncanny Avengers, something. I don't know. Hold on. This will break your mind. What is it? This break your mind. You probably don't think that Strange can recreate parts of the Darkhold he read, so technically it's not all destroyed. Yeah, actually, that's what I was telling Aka. Him being somewhat possessed by the Darkhold and reading it. There's going to be some residuals left over. So the idea of the Darkhold being destroyed, I don't think Wanda destroyed it everywhere in the multiverse, for the exact same reason you just put, because she read it for so long, and 616 Strange didn't read it or absorb it as much as Wanda did, and the original was actually put on the walls and things of her. I'm going to call it a shrine because it didn't feel like a throne because there was no chair. But yeah, I think that Wanda could recreate it as well. So the idea of Wanda or Strange being able to recreate it kind of makes sense.
Waifu Yolanda used that as an excuse to blah, 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 say the waifu was blinded by her emotions. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like I said it in the spoiler review, it's like taking a hit off of Coke or something the first couple times.
His description had me... I got questions.
Yeah, but it's just like, look, you in the beginning you think you're doing the right thing, and then after a while you just, even if it's wrong, you don't want to be right at this point. Right? It's like she just got so into
she got caught up in her own form of justice and duty, which I get. She's hurt. She's broken at this point, and it sucks that they did that to the only other female character that's left, because it's like, what you've done, like what I was telling them, is they've gotten rid of all the quote unquote Avengers. There are no more Avengers left from the original group. So now you're going to start over in general.
But I honestly,
the Avengers disbanded
I like
one form or another, and they got rid of Wanda. So they brought in Clea because they need to have someone there to complement Doctor Strange. And then from here, it's a matter of not just rebuilding, but also tearing down what was there before, because that's exactly what we're about to get.
Right.
Because even Wanda did it. Wanda took down Strange's home base. It's like, yeah, you got to go. Took it down. So now it's about rebuilding and things. How did you feel about America Chavez doing magic? Did that bother you?
Was that considered magic? Oh, you're talking about at the end.
Yeah, that actually pissed some people off. I'm like, wait,
whatever. I'm not going to be mad about it, but I didn't think she was like, I don't know if it's the fact that she's a relatively new character, but I just didn't care.
You didn't care.
Her.
Hey, because when I saw it, I was like, okay, because I'm like, in the opposite direction, what is she supposed to do?
Right.
she hasn't found a way to control her power long enough to send herself back to where she came from, let alone find her mom's. So
yeah, what do you want to do? Just sit at the Centaurium or whatever, like doing that shit? Like I didn't really care so much about her. Like
her to get shawarma.
I was like, whatever. Like I'm just like, that's fine. Like it could be worse. She could be literally like Strange Junior or something like that, like training with him, like or just living at the.
But that is kind of what I expected, only because of the dynamic in the beginning of her and Defender Strange, that they were close friends. So basically, he mentors her, kind of thing. Okay, that's all right, but at the same time, teaching her magic will help her control her powers.
Yeah.
I mean, if it does, that's cool. But I would say, I venture to say, if that's going to happen, it's what's her name, Clea, that's going to do it.
My own, like, I guess it would have been a little complicated because, and so I was kind of thinking about this when I got up, was the whole thing about she was so gung-ho on trying to get her kids, but she didn't give two shits about getting Vision.
Yeah, no one did.
Technically, Vision is out there. There is a version of Vision out there. The original Vision is out there. But I think the thing is the fact that she made, I think, if I'm Wanda, my reasoning is the fact that she literally made her kids. Like
yeah.
So
she looked at it as
Vision
part
is
of me.
Yeah, exactly.
Vision is his own being. So
that's kind of the thing, was like maybe she'll work on Vision later, but and I also think that especially after rewatching the last conversations that they had, was the fact that Wanda said, "You are a part of the Infinity Stone that is a part of me." Like
right.
that. So
you're
always
she didn't have to
me.
worry.
Yeah.
She didn't have to worry.
So Vision is always around. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, but the kids are not. So
no.
yeah.
And yeah, Vision not being there didn't bother me at all. If anything, I think it would have taken away.
Yeah, it would have just been more stuff, like,
because he's always tried to be like, I guess, like her moral compass, so to speak.
Exactly.
So then what? You have him there. She's gonna have to kill him so she can get her kids.
That too, or even if they brought White Vision in, you'd be like, "You are an imposter." And
I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah. I liked Reed Richards' costume. Yeah, people complain too much. Like, I thought it was cool. Like,
people don't like something.
Now, Black Bolt's costume on Black
Bolt's costume was cool, but I think that for the way they presented him for the first time, it felt light.
To me, I just thought Black Bolt looked like a judo master from Peacemaker, but like, so I completely understand why he didn't want to wear like a mask the entire TV show. So like,
I thought his costume was cool, but I also think that the complaint that people have is like the Illuminati. We didn't get enough time with them. We talked about this earlier. I think we got enough time with them to be like, oh, hey, that character's in the MCU. Hey, that character looks cool. They're gone. Because if you had them longer, it would detract from the main story, which is Strange and Wanda. Having them there longer, I think, would have done a disservice later on down the line, because you have characters that you want to have in the film that are part of the Illuminati that weren't introduced, or they were cut from the story for whatever reasons. It just wouldn't have worked.
Right.
It would have been too much, or the movie would definitely have to be longer. Because if they were just thrown in there, it was like
what mouth?
Yeah. Now, Black Bolt dying like that, I told him, I laughed. I thought it was funny because I didn't expect.
I think we both like. Dark. You guys can hear the audio reaction if you're part of Patreon. It's up there, but I think you can even hear him. Both of us were like, "Oh shit!" Damn. Like that. Yeah. It was crazy, dude.
And that was the beginning of the end, because you're watching stuff happen in a gory or somewhat horrific fashion. I loved it.
Now, rewatching it is funny because first time around, I thought it was the craziest shit I ever seen. The fact that they introduced the Illuminati and then like 5 minutes later, they're all dead. But then rewatching it the second time, I'm like, man, they all kind of died really goofy. But
I mean, it was right up there with Thanos killing, what was it? Ultron? Oh,
you mean Ultron killing Thanos like that? Yeah. But no, at least that one kind of like, I was like, wait a second. I was like, Wanda did not throw that shield that hard to decapitate, like to separate Captain Carter that.
She used magic behind it.
I guess so. You're
using force. It's gonna.
I guess so. Yeah. Like if she did kind of what Strange did with the bus. I'd kind of believe it a little bit more if it was spiky. But I was like,
I wouldn't. I would have actually hated that because I look at it as like that is Strange's thing. The way Strange does magic and presents it should be different from Wanda's. And Wanda
something
being
similar,
that
like
level,
spiky-ish.
It's like
no, the way it just looked like it was like buffered, and so I was just, and it was going like kind of slow and.
Yeah, I had no problem with it. Of course, I was heartbroken to see Captain Carter, die.
It was just hella funny.
I just like that. It was Wanda was funny. Like, you know what? Bump all y'all.
And let's not get into the whole Captain Marvel thing.
Who I like that she finally got her title, like she originally was supposed to have it, like in the comic books. But her dying, getting crushed by Stone, I was like, damn, that's kind of messed up.
Wicked witched her ass or whatever. All right, we're gonna take some calls so we can wrap up here, guys. So have your lunch.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Promise it won't be like the last chicken I had.
Oh, right. All right. You guys can call on, join on in, and then we'll do this for about an hour or so, and then we need to record some death battles and some other shit like that. Death battle.
Amen.
Yeah, I get that point about that, but I was like, all right, well, maybe she's just not as good as Steve. That's all. Like, it was so goofy. Like rewatching it, it was like, I can do this all day, and then immediately
that's the only thing that bothered me. That's the only thing that bothered me actually, because like that's his line. She didn't need to have it. She could have had a different line. Did I hate it? No, but I'm like, we didn't have to have it.
I can do this all day. All right.
Apparently, I need it half the day.
All right, you're gonna need your
headphones.
Yes, sir. What? Hello.
You need to plug it back in.
No, we're getting an echo somewhere. Where is this coming from?
What?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go. We're good now. All right, here we go. What the hell?
always something when I come on here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, J King?
What's up, J King?
Not much. You guys good? It was black screen for a minute.
Yeah, I messed up. So we're good now. Yeah.
I gotcha. All right. But yeah, Multiverse of Madness and Moon Knight. What are we talking about both, or are we only talking about one?
Your choice.
Up to you.
Okay, well, I'll go Multiverse of Madness. Then I'll go that route today.
All right.
Because
nice T-shirt, by the way.
Thanks. I got this during the run of the show. Found it, thankfully. But yeah, I've seen the movie twice now. Once in IMAX, the other time in 3D, and I needed the second time. I think I definitely needed the second time to fully grasp my opinion when it comes to this movie. Because when you see it the first time, you're like, you're all excited and full of joy or questioning a lot of things, and there are some things you need to take into perspective. And the second time, seeing it the day after, I was like, okay, now I can finally form my opinion on how I feel about this movie.
Did you say the day after?
Yeah, the day after.
Okay. I was like, that was fast. Because usually I try and give myself a few days or a week in between on purpose. So I get it out of my head. I'm not really expecting anything, and the buzz kind of.
Or you could be like Logan. You could be like Logan, John's buddy, and hate on the movie, but see it 3 times opening weekend. That was weird.
3 times. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Logan switched. He was like, "Man, I hate this movie, but I saw it 3 times opening weekend." I'm like, okay. And he's gonna go see it a 4th time this week.
Of course, he is, because he really hated it.
Yeah.
Hate watching. Okay, then. Anyways. I think when it comes to this whole thing, I've seen a lot of people have very mixed thoughts on this in this film. Some people love it, some people hated it, some people are very just don't know how to, know exactly what they feel about this movie. And I think, beyond all the multiversal shenanigans and Illuminati deaths and the style of Sam Raimi that we got in this film, I definitely think that what they were trying to go, kind of like how it went with No Way Home, but in a different way, is tell a more personal story, just layered or sprinkled with that frosting that is the multiverse purpose. With No Way Home, it was a lot more personal in Peter's journey. For this one, it was a lot more personal in Strange and Wanda's journey, and in the introduction of America, with the theme of letting go. Or funny enough, how Ahmed said in the finale, "Don't let the past hold you back," or something like that. Funny enough, the villain gives that for this movie. But yeah, I definitely think that, again, you could say, oh, you see the Sam Raimi in this, you see the, Marvel in this, oh, is it competing, whose influence is much more, especially with given the fact that Sam did say he had to reshoot some things because Disney was like, oh, you might need to add this because of WandaVision. But I definitely enjoyed the film for telling the personal story of Strange, learning to accept the fact that, he can accept love. He can accept all the things that he kind of buried down beneath when he became a doctor and when he became a sorcerer. Learning
And
that
that he needs
Wanda
help.
and that he needs help and that he can accept the love. And sometimes things happen. You got to accept it and let it go. America, she lost her parents. She has to let that go. I mean, they could possibly still be around, but she has to let go of that guilt to move forward. Wanda, she lost her kids, on top of the fact of losing her parents, Vision, her brother, and pretty much everything that she ever cared about. But she has to learn to let that go and move on with her life. Her kids, knowing the characters, we know that they'll come back in some capacity at some point. But for right now, her letting go of that is the ability to move on with her life wherever that goes, be it if she does return as an Avenger, if she finds White Vision, wherever the hell that man went at the end of WandaVision, or again, whatever she decides to do.
Blu-ray.
Yep. And with Doctor Strange, as he said, as he said, Christine said, "Are you happy?" He said yes, but he was definitely lying because he wishes.
He definitely wasn't. Yeah, he wishes.
Yeah, he
with
wasn't.
Her.
He wishes that he was with her, but the thing is, he had that chance. He had that chance at most of what we've seen back in the first Doctor Strange movie, but he let that go because he was so busy trying to stop Dormammu, and the moment passed. I definitely experienced where it's like, oh, I wish I could have done this, but it's like the moment passed. Sometimes it's just not meant to happen. And hey, I mean, Clea showed up, and we know that's his wife in the comics, so there could be that. But again, the theme was really allowing yourself to let it go. And I love Marvel and Sam Raimi and everyone for telling that personal story, especially given the first movie, which I don't think a lot of people remember that much when it comes to this certain aspect of Stephen Strange's, veracity to not wanting to take a life, especially after he did take a life in the first movie with one of Caecilius's men. His journey that kind of somewhat, was going along the ways of his appearances in Infinity War, Endgame, No Way Home, and all that. This definitely seems like him becoming more empathetic of a person. He's a sorcerer supreme, he's the world's greatest surgeon, but now he can learn to be just human. And I like how they're doing that. And I love America as well in this movie because she compliments America. Because she compliments Strange very well. They're both very headstrong. And as Xochitl Gomez said, this is a younger version of the character that we know from the comics, much younger than how she has ever been, but she's still very headstrong and very much, like Strange, to herself. And I think they definitely learned from each other, especially after she basically almost got betrayed by Defender Strange in the beginning.
2 questions for you. And you can come in and this if you want. One question: do you think the conversation between Strange and Christine at her wedding was necessary and/or appropriate? And then the second question is, America being there and complimenting Strange the way she is, do you think that's their way of basically saying they're going to phase out Wong in being his sidekick? Not necessarily that Wong has to die, but they're moving away from that, and Wong is more over here and doing his own thing, and Strange will have a new sidekick, not including Clea, because I don't see her as a sidekick. I see her as a partner.
Okay, answering the first question, the first, the opening conversation with Christine at her wedding, I think that definitely was necessary to lay down Steven's, feelings and, emotions and motivations throughout this whole film. It was definitely necessary. It was definitely necessary.
The entire time through the movie, when they kept on saying that, I'm like, oh god, America's in trouble. Right. We have to save America. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. It was there just, and then literally she punches stars and stripes, and I'm just like, I was like, come on. I guess she comes from a world where America becomes the entire universe or something like that. Like, because literally her moms even had like stars and everything. And I was like, okay.
But I thought that was fitting because when she used her power, it also forms in
have to make America great again.
What's part of her or what she kind of lost being her mom's. So
America's been corrupted by the witch.
And
by a Russian witch.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so the second question, which was about America Chavez. I don't think that they're necessarily going to use her to fade out Wong. I definitely do think that Wong, now being Sorcerer Supreme for however long he is going to be Sorcerer Supreme, will be busy with his own things, but still will come around to help Strange out. As we saw, he barely was in No Way Home, but he was still there, for the times that he was. And in this movie, again, he's busy with his title of Sorcerer Supreme until either say he does die or he passes it on to Steven or someone else. Like, who knows? But I don't think they're going to replace America with her. I think definitely this was more of America's introduction to the whole thing, and Steven basically helping her, in her pathway into the Marvel Universe, so that way she can go on and do other things, whether that be with the Young Avengers, whether that be with just her and Kate Bishop, since we know of their best friend relationship and everything like that. Whatever the case may be, I think this is just basically her going on her own path. And as you said, like the more partnership or more like relationship partnership that comes from this now will be of
Kevin Feige calling you right now. He's telling you to shut the fuck up.
He's like,
he's like, what are you doing? Yeah. He's like, stop it. Stop it. Actually, we're gonna add to the stream. Anime as Art hated this movie. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Anime is Art versus J King while I have some lunch right now.
You hated the movie?
No, he's always bitch. He was always bitching about something. Like he's been texting me on Twitter like for the last week. It's like, Oxen, don't you think that Doctor Strange was treated like a bitch in this? And I'm like, okay, here, get on here. So you guys,
a week?
You guys are both the antithesis.
It wasn't a full friggin' week. For God's sake, I've only seen the movie like a few days ago. So how can you say a full friggin' week?
Go ahead, Anime. What was your problem with the movie?
Okay.
You have a lot of problems with the movie, yeah.
First, and you agreed the Illuminati got screwed. Even you agreed with that.
Who are you? You talking to me? I was like,
yeah.
No, I was like, it was great. I was like, look, they were introduced to die. It was good.
I mean, they were basically introduced to die.
I had no problem with that.
But given the context of their characters, Reed Richards has an extremely high IQ, and he walked in and handled it like an emotional dickhead.
Okay. But so here, my rebuttal for that would be, but you're dealing with a different
Wanda,
not just different Wanda, but you're dealing with a different multiverse of a character.
True.
So the one that you're used to would be 616 version, where he would handle the situation much different. Where in this one, at this point, maybe they're a bit careless and a little too confident.
And again, they're looking
because of what happened.
And they're looking at it as a friend, not as a threat. They're not like if Thanos showed up, maybe Reed Richards would have been on his guard a little bit more. But he's still looking at it as a friend, as somebody like, look, we know you have children. You know you're going the wrong way. They didn't take Wanda as a threat.
Yeah, he was trying to use
on top of the
literally
fact that
Captain Marvel was like,
version of herself.
Literally, Captain Marvel was like, oh, we can handle your little witch problem.
Yeah, and that right there, I saw that as perfect for the 616 Captain Marvel, because even she comes off a bit too cocky at times, and it's like, I get that she has the cosmic power. I don't have anything against her character being like that. because you're gonna have to have a character that is cocky, because that was Thor until he grew. But it just felt like I don't know. I didn't have a problem with them killing them off because, like I said before, I think having them there longer would have taken away from their character.
And again, was anybody like, let's be honest, was anybody expecting her to like literally tape up Black Bolt's mouth like that? Like it caught everybody by surprise.
No,
like,
but I think his complaint
Wanda went that hard?
Reed Richards as opposed to Black Bolt.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm like, we just like yeah.
In regards to Black Bolt, in regards to Mr. Fantastic and Black Bolt, in regards to that, she uses 2 abilities that she never uses again. And that's another thing I have a problem with. If you're going to introduce abilities like sealing the mouth shut or turning someone into ribbons, why doesn't she use those abilities again? Because she could turn everyone into the room. She could seal their mouths shut and their noses shut, their eyes shut, and just fuck the whole room up.
That's like saying, why does Doctor Strange not do the same spinning thing each time? Or why did Thanos? Why is Thanos using different powers? I brought that up with my friend. I actually whispered it to my friend in the cinema. I said, why doesn't Strange use that thing from Infinity War where he creates 50 friggin' clones and fights with 50 clones? He doesn't do that the whole movie.
Again,
oh yeah, go ahead.
Again, animes are again. Remember, and this can go in the case for both Strange and Wanda. Remember, Wanda says she was being merciful. The Illuminati, she has no ties to any of those people except for maybe Captain Marvel, and she didn't even know that version of her. She has no ties to any of them, which is why she would do the same thing to Thanos. She was ready to murk his ass until like he rained fire. But Strange didn't want to hurt Wanda because again, that's his friend. Wanda didn't want to hurt Strange because, again, she admires him. That's her friend. But the Illuminati, she ain't know any of those people. We haven't been introduced to Reed Richards in 616 yet. We will soon, but we haven't been introduced to him yet. She does not know Peggy. She does not know Maria. She does not know Black Bolt. Any of those characters she has no ties to, so she doesn't care.
The one I can make the biggest case for is Professor Xavier, and I think I actually tweeted this one to Akasan, was that earlier in the movie, when she's attacking Kamar-Taj, she had to get into the weakest mind on Kamar-Taj, that guy. Out of all the minds, and they're only sorcerers, she had to get into the weakest mind, and that's in her original body on that in the universe. So she couldn't get, they're just normal sorcerers, not telepaths. And yet when going after Xavier, an Omega level telepath, she just instantly fucking kills him. That's bullshit, no matter how you see it.
Okay, I would rebuttal with this. One, JK made a good point. She didn't know any of the characters there or doesn't have any rapport with any of them, so she wouldn't have a necessary reason to feel anything towards them. I agree with that. On the other side, dealing with Professor Xavier, him basically intruding her mind, I could see her immediately trying to be on the defensive because she has a clear goal in mind. Her clear goal is to get her children, no matter what it takes. Not that her methods are good, because they're not. But you have someone that's getting into your mind and trying to control what you're doing. No. The first thing you're going to do is defend yourself. And seeing that his power is dealing with the mind, why not take him out? Because he's the most powerful one left there. Because as far as Mordor is,
but Elizabeth Olsen also said that she's weaker when she's in the weaker body in the separate universe.
Just because she's weaker doesn't mean that Charles Xavier is stronger. That's the part you're missing. Because remember, just because he can do these different things with his mind, can he rewrite reality? No. I'm not dissing Professor X either, because I like him. But realistically, there's nothing he could do against Wanda.
But her reality walking powers have no effect on the astral plane.
Well,
that's
why?
Reality, not the astral plane.
But she used the astral plane. She used the astral plane to take over the body of another version of herself from the multiverse. Why wouldn't she be able to do that? Because she's still using the same power. You know that, and basically making everybody's mouth clear up or be taken in the same room, why would she use that power for all of them? Their power sets are different.
And
the purposes
that's a point also brought up. Xavier entered her mind first, so he was on the attack.
Yeah,
he's on the attack. So
he's on the wrong playing
field.
Yeah,
so she's defending herself.
Home court advantage. Yeah,
yeah. But here's the thing.
Exactly.
That happens, and what do you see? You see Wanda under rubble, and Xavier trying to save her, and Wanda realizes, okay, this is what's happening. So instead of dealing with him face to face, she comes up behind him and snaps. Makes sense.
Anime is art. You hated this movie because of your Omega level mutant got snapped.
Not just that.
Like Man of Steel.
What else did you enjoy about the movie?
Like, don't get me wrong.
If that's the reason you're hating a movie, then you're gonna be. How did you survive this long? 10 years in the MCU.
No, not. I admit it. The acting was good by Elizabeth Olsen. She did fantastic the whole movie. I looked up America Chavez because I knew nothing about the character going into it, because over concerning comics, I gave up on a lot of them after the new 52 and all of that. So getting into the new characters, researched a few of it. And concerning America Chavez, I think the movie did a better job of portraying her than what the comics have done. Because I admit the one thing that I was the only person that laughed in the cinema, and I think I felt really bad when I did it, was when they displayed her backstory. The whole thing when the bee landed on her finger and the portal opened, I burst out laughing in the friggin' cinema. I thought that was just friggin' stupid. Because like all the traumatic shit that she goes through is like really actual terrifying shit that she goes through throughout the whole movie. And it's like her powers triggered over a fucking bee.
She was a child.
It's a bee.
Okay, to be fair, he is from Australia, so a little bee is nothing to him.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you have to.
What if it was a dingo?
That's
friggin' terrifying. A dingo shows up in your yard. Well, to be fair, that's like a dog for us.
Okay, but here's the question: if a bee landed on the back of your neck, how would you react?
Ow. Tarantula.
A
tarantula. That's fair enough.
You would be ow if it stung you, but if it landed on you, your first reaction would be, "Oh, get this thing off me!" You would freak out.
Nah, you just slap him.
Not everyone's gonna slap it.
Not everybody's gonna do that, and you have a child.
We're Australians. We just do this shit. We live with this shit.
But this is America universe.
Yeah.
So and by the way, I did a bit of history on you Americans and with the comics and her backstory, right? Because she lives on a planet that's all lesbians, right? America was actually named after a male explorer. So how the hell did their planet get named America if it's named after a male explorer?
Because someone went out exploring the universe and came across a story that resonated with them. Because I don't think it's anything dealing with the sex. It was dealing with what happened to that person that impressed them. So, there's that too.
Okay.
I don't know. I just consider that funny that of all the friggin' things that triggered her powers, it was a stinking bee. And then her parents got sucked through a portal. And then Strange is like, oh yeah, your parents are most likely out there. And I'm like, your parents grew up in a fucking utopia. If they got sucked through a portal, they're probably dead. They've never gone through anything harsh in their life.
Then that would be the perfect way to motivate her into helping you. Not. Again, that's not something you would tell a child, because you don't want that child to break down, especially with someone, a child in this storyline that has that much immense power. Why would you say something like that? You would.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. This was fun. Anime is art. J King, appreciate it. Later.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, guys.
We'll try to get. Yeah, America. Okay. I'm just waiting. Like I thought he was gonna say he was disappointed. What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why mute it? Huh?
Trust me.
That didn't need to be muted. Like, okay. I'm just saying, we were what was I gonna say? Oh, now I got distracted because I was gonna say I was the only thing I'm disappointed in is the fact that we didn't get this scene in Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, but maybe in time with the introduction of his wife being brought in,
Was Pietro holding the
camera? This is what I'm talking about. Maybe there's a reason Doctor Strange 3 will have 3. Anyways. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's we need a palate cleanser here. GC fanboy. Hello.
What's up? How's it going?
What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, man?
I guess I'll talk about Moon Knight first, since
go for it. Yeah,
bigger one. So for Moon Knight, I was really excited for it. I thought it would be my favorite Disney Plus Marvel show because I like the character, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It didn't end up being my favorite. It's my third favorite. I like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier better still, but it's still really enjoyable. I guess the only thing I would have an issue with was I think the action was kind of a letdown. I feel like the more psychological stuff, or just like dealing with Mark and Steven and like their relationship and like their backstory, I think that was like the best part, which is why episode 5 was like the best episode, because that's when it's like the show's at its strongest. I would have liked to see more of that explored.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, whenever it gets down to like him in the Moon Knight costume, it's like I'm like the least interested in that. Like it's just like basic fighting, and like the suit looks CG the whole time, which is I don't have a big problem with it, but like I would have liked to see more like some cool like hand-to-hand combat. Like the finale had some good parts. I like the part where Mr. Knight with the that little Nightwing action he had.
Yeah,
stuff like that would have been really cool. But I mean, that's like my
two costumes. Which one did you prefer?
I don't know. I feel like the Mr. Knight costume just looks better for some reason. I guess maybe because it's like more easier to do, because it's just like a white suit with like the mask. But I mean, I was really excited for the Moon Knight costume. I guess Mr. Knight's costume.
Yeah, Mr. Knight's one looked a little more, I guess, believable and functional.
Yeah, it looked less CG.
Yeah. I think that was the biggest thing, because a lot of Moon Knight, the actual base Moon Knight one, kind of really did look like Ben Affleck's Batman.
Just when they were like when he's jumping around and like
yeah. Like he had that like kind of like he looked like he weighed an additional 50 pounds or something.
Yeah,
just moving.
It was all the sand in.
Everything was felt really heavy. But yeah, I get it. Mr. Knight was kind of refreshing, kind of like a Deadpool in a tuxedo type of deal. But he could fight, so Daredevil style. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on that show. Hope we get a season 2. Not confirmed yet, so I'm hoping.
Cool.
So multiverse.
Oh, by the way, wait, did DC fanboy? Did we ever actually talk about the Batman? I don't know.
We did. I told you why you were incorrect, and you kept telling me why you thought you were correct.
Okay, got it. I was still,
I'm bitter about it. I'm still like, why?
I'm sorry. I didn't like that boring ass movie.
Hey, man, you're the one who needs to go to Arkham Asylum, not joking.
Okay.
Talking crazy now, but we can't talk about Batman anymore.
That's okay. We'll move on. Yeah.
Yes, Multiverse of Madness.
A good movie. Yes. Okay.
So I was really excited for this movie. Ever since it was announced, it was my most anticipated new Marvel movie back in 2019. So now it's finally here. A lot was like going in, like there was like rumored leaks and stuff, and so I was trying to avoid as much as I could until I saw the actual movie. And I gotta say, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I did really like it. I think the standout is whenever Sam Raimi, you can tell it's him behind the camera. You can tell this is a Sam Raimi kind of thing, especially with like the horror. I know you said you didn't really like some of the jump scares and stuff like that a bit too much. I actually really appreciated it. You did what?
I liked it. I liked it. I thought sometimes it was a little on the nose, a little bit. Like
I mean sometimes
like it was obvious. It was
it was like it's like all right, dude. Like you could tell it was a little bit of retro filmmaking, like especially when they were in the bunker and they were waiting and everything slowed down and the water slowed down. It was like, all right, we get it, dude.
I actually like how they slowed the
classic Sam Raimi right there.
Yeah.
Are they using the power to slow the water, or is something.
Nah,
something's coming.
I felt it was definitely a stylistic choice that kind of died off decades ago, but it's fine. Yeah, but okay, as you were saying.
So yeah, why I say that is because whenever it doesn't feel like a Sam Raimi film, it just feels kind of like generic and like a little like messy, especially since there's obviously a bunch of reshoots. Like, I don't know if it's like because they wanted to. They said one reason was for the cameos and some actors weren't available at the original time, and they used the reshoots kind of to fill them in. But I feel like there's like way more stuff than that because like a lot of this feels like edited and like cut together kind of poorly, especially like in the beginning. It's just kind of like you start off with like introducing America Chavez and that like from another universe, and then you have the wedding, and then you go straight into the action of introducing America Chavez again, and then it's from there. It's like, all right, time for this adventure through the whole way through, and that like especially with Wanda, like since I know why Wanda is this evil, it's because of the Darkhold corrupting her, but like I feel like we were kind of robbed of like seeing her kind of evolve because when you leave off at WandaVision, it's like she's not like pure evil. Like she's like I made mistakes. Like Westview was a mistake. I feel bad for what I did. Like I hurt these people for like weeks. I enslaved them. And then then the end credits, obviously she's reading the Darkhold, so that's how you know. Because it's been a while since WandaVision. It's been like a couple months in the MCU since WandaVision. So she's been reading that for like almost a year. But I just feel like we could have like maybe seen her like evolve more evil. Like maybe like at first she wants to kind of like she's like less hostile towards Chavez and them, and like she's trying to like negotiate with Strange. But then like the desperation kind of makes her be as sinister as she is.
I get it. I know that people really want answers for that, or they want explanations, but I also feel like that kind of took away from the big reveal that she was the one sending all the monsters. I kind of like that. If we had seen her try to like be reasonable, or which she said she was already reasonable, but I also get where it threw a lot of people for a loop. But that's why I also feel that rewatching, seeing Agatha's position and her thoughts on her thinking on what the Scarlet Witch really is, really helps illustrate what we saw in the Multiverse of Madness. Wanda essentially became exactly what Agatha feared she would be, which was a blight on the universe. So, you know.
But is Wanda a reincarnation of
the Scarlet Witch, or is
the Scarlet Witch absorbed or took over her body and became that? Because that's never really.
I believe
never really clear for.
I know what you're saying, but I think that's a good question. Which came first, the Scarlet Witch or Wanda? Right? Yeah.
I feel like the Darkhold kind of like unleashed this Scarlet Witch persona, which is why I think when like Xavier was in her mind, I think that was an actual thing. Like Wanda's like actually like trapped in, and like the Scarlet Witch is taking over. So like I feel like just the Darkhold, just like all like her evilness from the Scarlet Witch comes from that. So,
man, but see that, and I see what you guys are saying, but then
like it's not the Wanda of the 838 that was trapped on the rubble. It was the 616 Wanda trapped on the rubble, and the Scarlet Witch is the one that was basically
but or no, even then it's like the Scarlet Witch was in the Infinity Stone that entire time, because
was trapped in the Infinity Stone, and upon releasing the energy, she was able to escape.
See, this gets in kind of I see why they sometimes don't address it, because it gets too close to another female with red hair in the Marvel world.
Whatever do you mean?
The Phoenix, it's more, it's kind of it's the same sort of argument of like who is in control. Is it Jean Grey or is it the Phoenix Force, and which one is actually the villain? Is Jean Grey completely absolved from or is it the Phoenix Force taking her over?
And depending on which X-Men movie, it's one or the other.
But I kind of like that they do kind of keep it kind of like vague. Like I personally think it's all Wanda's sort of a direction, and that's what makes her so fascinating, because she is a tragic character. She wants to be a hero, or she didn't necessarily want to be a hero, but she wants to do the right thing, and that led her down the route of becoming a freedom fighter, becoming an Avenger, and then enslaving an entire town.
As one would after being an Avenger. Apparently.
It's very interesting. Now I like this particular story, and I rather it not be a excuse of like, okay, some mystic or cosmic force is pushing her this way.
There's something I didn't know. the Darkhold was in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It was actually.
Yeah,
I mean, during the Ghost Rider. Yeah, not the version we know, but yeah.
So it was another fake. It was another copy. Because the Darkhold that we see, remember, is a copy.
Right.
Because the original is
from what I've been told, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one is like a completely different universe or whatever.
So that show's not canon.
So they're not 616.
I think they've been written out of continuity.
Yeah, they should be because it was a bad show.
No, I mean, no, people.
There were some. Well, the later seasons were good. The first 2 seasons were kind of like
similar to the Netflix stuff, I guess. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Cool, DC son, our DC fanboy. Anything?
Hey, what's up, man? Oh wait, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not saying. But can I ask you guys something?
Yeah.
What does the ending of does like the end credits just like does that make you excited for either Doctor Strange 3 or just like something else that could happen in the future, like Secret Wars or something? Because Secret Wars kicks off with an incursion or whatever it's called.
I felt the endings were kind of weak. Because I'm gonna be
compared to previous.
I think the entire all of Phase 4, most of the end credits have been pretty whack. Because not like excited, like yes, let's go, like
including Morbius.
But I don't know, I haven't seen it. But and I'll be completely honest, like I turned around and looked at DC Sun, and I'm like, was that like first and foremost?
Oh, that's right. Because
first and foremost, I was like,
was
who is that? Then secondly, I was like, was that Charlize Theron? We both were like,
but I have no idea.
We didn't even care about the character. We just first and foremost were trying to figure out if that was Charlize. And then because again, it was IMAX 3D, and I was just like, then secondly, I thought it was either Morgana, which is like Dr. Doom's magic chick, and then for a second I thought it was Psylocke, the Elizabeth.
I didn't think it was
Elizabeth
Psylocke.
Bradley, whatever. So Psylocke is the Asian chick, Kawana, and the she used to be a British chick first, and so because she popped out like this Psyblade looking thing, and I'm like, wait, what? And so we were both like, well. Is it? We also thought it was Enchantress, possibly.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know, maybe it's Enchantress. And he mentioned Morgana. I was like, oh, I hadn't thought about that.
So like, because I don't read Doctor Strange comics, so I didn't really realize it was Clea and whatever. So, so I wasn't overall excited for like more, but I'm like, okay, cool. It's continuing, it's going, and I'm good. The one with Bruce Campbell. I thought it was funny. I thought I just liked the fact that he looked at it and he was just like, "It's over," and I'm like, "That I liked it. I liked it." Like I know why people are mad because they want a tease. They want Doctor Doom to show up. They want something more. They need a big bad. They need a Thanos drive.
But you got Kane the Conqueror.
Kane, exactly. I mean,
I understand that, but I also feel like people need to understand that it's still a mess, and like I said before, we're still recovering. We're still in a pandemic. There's Marvel. The last thing Marvel wants to do is promise something,
and not
in an end credit,
good way,
and not deliver in a follow-up movie because the schedules are so messy now. So
look at some of the MCU movies like a Pixar film. You have nods to the next film in the one that you're watching. It's enough to be like, oh, okay, something's coming, but not to the point where it's like, well, I have to have it now. Because for me, these end credit cameos, especially the more recent one for the Multiverse of Madness, I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. I want to see where they go with it, but I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush for many reasons. I don't want to be thrown into a story that's not going to make sense just for the sense of throwing it together. But at the same time, this felt like, oh, something I'll be interested in once that film is coming out and is dealing with Doctor Strange. Until then, my focus can be somewhere else, and I don't have to worry about it. So enjoyable enough to enjoy it, but not to the point where it's like, oh, I have to see this now. I didn't have that, and it's good because I don't need that right now because everything being delayed anyway. It's like, why rush it?
I'm okay with that. I'd rather them just keep giving us some decent stories, and when they finally get a drive of like, okay, it's gonna, because one of the biggest problems with some of the Marvel movies when they first started was the fact that I really just wanted to skip through. I did not enjoy the first Doctor Strange movie because I already wanted them to just hurry up and get to Civil War because I knew that was coming. And so I'm like, oh, okay, it's building up. And then because they teased that even when Tony and Steve were ripping logs in Avengers 2. I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be the fight. Then after Civil War, all I really wanted to see was Infinity War. So I didn't really care about any of the in-between movies. So I kind of like the fact that they're just giving us good stories and decent stories now. So we're not focused so much on the future right now. So yeah, that's all.
I mean, Kevin Feige right now he's going on a 10-year, not 10-year. He's going on a small retreat to plan out the next 10 years, which I think is a very good idea because I think
it is
people are starting
because
to
you can burn
people
out.
Are starting to see the cracks in the cinematic universe. Like, why are the Eternals just now being introduced? Why was Captain Marvel not mentioned, especially during the Avengers movie, stuff like that. So I'm glad they're kind of looking back, all right, we need to make sure we can explain anything, or we can make sure there's not going to be plot holes and gaps in the future when we introduce even more characters and stuff. So I'm glad that they're starting to shape up Marvel and make everything seem still connected still all these years. Literally we're going to be 20 years of MCU stuff. So
and it'll be glorious. All right, DC fanboy, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
All right, take care, guys.
Later, man. All right, let's move to the next one.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, my guy?
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. I'm just on DC Sound. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. And yourself?
Pretty good. So we'll start with Moon Knight. Okay. I really, really enjoyed that show. It's my favorite out of the Disney Plus TV shows. I thought it was very well made. I really enjoyed the whole psychological, DID factor. I really enjoyed that. I will say though, I disagree with DC Sun in terms of what you said earlier about season 2.
I'll relay the information. Okay. Yeah.
He said he mentioned that he'd be okay with Layla if she was kind of the main focus of season 2. I'm not okay with that.
Oh, okay, so
with the same reason.
Yeah, so he said he disagrees with you as Layla being the second season 2. Yeah, second season.
The main focus.
If they but not the main focus for the whole show. If they wanted to dedicate an episode or 2 to her character, that's fine, and move away from there, because I think that would take away from the third personality.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want that because Hawkeye suffered with that in my opinion.
Now I can't unsee it. It is. It's very Barack Obama calling in right now.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like the fact that
I can't unsee it now. I can't unhear it. Go ahead, please continue.
Fucking lost my train of thought. Going back to Hawkeye. I was talking about Clinton Barton. The same problems I had with Hawkeye in terms of Clinton Barton being overshadowed by all the other characters. I wouldn't want that.
Basically, like they did with most of the movies.
Yeah.
It's like his character didn't really get much of much of his time.
Basically, I didn't like
everybody was more important.
Even in the show, now you're good, Angel Palacios. You're good.
You should just roll with that. Actually, you should just call yourself the MCU Barack Obama.
Yeah, no.
And you just call it. Well, thank you very much. That's Spider-Man there. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, it's nothing new. Been told that before.
Okay.
Going back to Moon Knight. Season 2. I hope they just focus mainly on really the whole Jake Lockley thing and how Mark and Steven will sort of find out that there's another personality there. Even though I find it kind of weird that Mark didn't check the sarcophagus in episode 5.
Right.
I don't.
I think they were just so busy,
but he looked at it for
Would you really open a sarcophagus when you're trying to escape?
For Steven. So it's you're not even a little bit curious. I mean, he was just walking around in the hallway anyway, just trying to find whatever fucking exit, and then they see the shippo. So
I do kind of agree with him, because it's like you have to find your way.
Right, you're just trying to get out of there.
No, but what he's
saying.
You
open one sarcophagus and I don't know why you wouldn't open the other one.
Did they pass that sarcophagus before he found Steven or after?
After he found. So he found Steven, let Steven out, And then basically was what, the next room or 2 rooms down?
Yeah.
Was that sarcophagus? And it's like, well, why wouldn't you open it?
No, but that's because you already found, like, you found this dude. It's like he's trying to find a way out. You know, if something
how
is
does the curiosity just go away?
I wouldn't. If you hear like a dog barking or something, and like, nah, I wouldn't. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, it's like, yo, let's get out of here. Man.
I didn't have a problem with them not opening it. It did make me curious. I'm
Right.
like,
No,
that's got to be the third
too.
one. It's
Right.
definitely the third one. But
it just seemed a little bit off. But that was very minor overall. I still enjoyed the series. Yeah. So, Multiverse of Madness.
The only thing that bugged me about that shortly after is when after he goes back to get Steven from the sands, how come the souls didn't come up and take both of them?
That's another one too. I don't know.
That's the only thing I was like, he did just stroll through here? There's no problem?
He did turn to sand, because Steven in episode 5 just turned to sand.
Steven turned to sand, but Mark went back to get him. But when Steven turned to sand, he fell off the boat and souls brought him down, and then he was too heavy to keep walking. So why didn't the souls or anything
I thought he just only turned to sand. It wasn't like hands grabbing him. I think he just turned his feet turned to sand.
You see them in the sand.
Well,
but
the souls were trying to get him off the boat. That's why they were going off the boat.
How come he didn't feel heavy getting Steven is what I mean.
Oh.
So
he did.
It's all right. Sorry, go ahead.
All right,
Strange. Like a time effect or something.
Strange.
Yeah. Dramatic effect. Yeah.
So, Multiverse of Madness. So, I enjoyed that movie a lot. It's in my top 10. I have it at number 9.
For sure.
I will say, except for one thing, another disagreement is with Vision. The lack of Vision did not make sense. Vision.
Who?
You know who.
Who?
No, but they mentioned him, but they didn't have him. And I disagree with you on the fact that he shouldn't have been there, because she cared about him just as much as she did her sons. And you wouldn't really have the concept of her sons without him in the first place.
Yes, but remember, he made a good point, and
right again,
like
Vision is always
said
a part
that he's
of her.
he's always a part of her because he was created with the stone,
right?
And that's part of her. So she wouldn't need to have a physical version of her there, because out of everything, the thing that she actually made wasn't Vision; it was her kids. So the focus being on the kids makes more sense, and Vision being there, he would be that one thing that would try and stop her from doing it in the end, because he would know that that's not right. And then what? She has to kill him again? I mean, it
still doesn't make sense.
Intended.
Even in when she showed the other Wanda variants, you didn't have Vision in any of those. And those are apparently the realities in which those kids were actually real. So who's the dad? if it's not Vision, it's like, where did he go?
Because Wanda made them. Wanda made them, and that's the thing. It's one of those things. Like, remember, Vision is an android.
If Wanda made them, then they would be fake too on those universes, right? They said that Wanda said in the movie that those kids were actually real in those universes.
Yeah, because she made them real through reality. Her power of reality.
And then my thing about I was kind of
thinking in the main universe too, and they were real. So
but I thought about
not here.
But here's what I was thinking was, okay, like I was like, yeah, Wanda, why don't you just reanimate your kids again, right? But Agatha, again, you got rewatch. I encourage a lot of people to rewatch the last 2 episodes of WandaVision, because Agatha actually lays out a lot of the rules, and she was just like, look, about our deal, this isn't going to work. Your kids are bound to this world that you created. So when that goes, they go, and there's no getting them back. If Wanda were to try to make kids again, they would be other kids. Because essentially when you cast a spell, when a witch casts a spell, it's locked in. There's no going back from that. So those kids are gone in the world that she created. Even if she tried to bring them back, she can't. Not in this universe.
So she'd have to.
I guess I kind of see. So
she would end up
those kids are a part of Westview.
So she'd have to be in another universe, and they would have to be made there, because once that spell is made, it's made, and it affects only that area. It's like the Infinity Stone.
It's like making pancakes or something. You're never going to make the same pancake twice. So it's always
That's
going to be a little
damn
different,
good.
you know. So
like,
that's the thing.
You think the kids there are basically like connected? Like, do you think she like did her own thing with like a Westview or whatever city, like in those universes too? Like,
well, that's the other thing. It's like I feel it's a 50-50 where yes, it is possible that she's still in control of people in Westview in a multiple universe.
Correct.
Or the opposite, where she learned from the mistake or even didn't make that mistake altogether and just wanted to have a peaceful, normal life with her kids,
right?
In which she didn't take anybody over, but she did create the kids because of things that happened in her past. She wanted to have something
or Vision got inseminated. You know, she got inseminated with some Wakandan DNA, and you know, that's just whatever.
Going back to Vision, you guys said Wanda made him. Are you referring to specifically the chaos energy one in WandaVision, right? I'm referring to the real one. Why wasn't he in any of the other universes?
You mean White Vision? I don't know about the other universes, but look, the realistic question is
they showed Wanda showed the whole, you know, she showed the Wandas in the alternate universe.
I mean, at the end,
because he only existed in this universe.
And at the end of the day, it really wasn't necessary to pay Paul Bettany to show up and just to answer this question. That wasn't the point of the story that they were trying to tell. You know, at the end of the day, like they didn't need Vision.
If Doctor Strange had Christine in these other universes,
because Christine is essential.
Have Vision, because Vision, the whole story of WandaVision was her grief for Vision.
I get that, but this is a Doctor Strange movie, though. You know, I know what you're trying to say, but it's a Doctor Strange movie.
Well, to me, it was a bit of both, but it was both a Doctor Strange sequel and a sequel to WandaVision.
Right, but at the end of the day, the title is Doctor Strange. It's not one.
That's still not. I don't see it as an excuse for those plot holes. Or that specific.
I look at it as one. Vision only existed in this specific universe, especially that version of it. But also,
so you think Vision only exists in Earth 616?
I don't know.
Possibly.
Who knows?
I mean, he could be in other multiple universes, but that doesn't also mean that he's always with Wanda. True. That doesn't mean that he's always necessary for Wanda and the kids. In this case, you had Christine being kind of like a tether for Doctor Strange. Right. And then for her tether
it wasn't really necessary intricate to the plot.
Right. But for her tether were her kids, because that's something that
it was Vision for her too, character. Though. That's the thing. It was both.
But she didn't make Vision. It's a parent losing their child, a parent getting a divorce, and a parent losing their child. They're going to feel both. But for any parent out there, you're going to feel differently. Not that one is more than the other. So not to discredit anyone who's been through either of those, but you're going to feel differently about losing a child, because that's your DNA.
Fair enough.
That is part of you.
Fair enough.
So even
if
that's
what the plot was focusing
them
on.
Through magic,
I still think it was
reality,
not having
it's
that.
Part of her.
Yeah.
Well,
fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Obama. We disagree. All right.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Hey, no problem.
Magano, thank you so much, man. Later, dude.
Yeah,
go. What was it? Love Self, Love All. It's the 838.
Yeah. Hold on. I wanted to just share something with you guys real quick. Because it's quite intricate to the plot here, but hold on. Is that there you go. Sorry. Wait. I didn't want to share that. Hold on. Never mind. No, this isn't it. Sorry, it happened before.
Yeah, but the way she bites her lip.
No, never mind. It was a scene before
like
this.
A really personal scene.
It was a scene before this where he's just like, Wanda, I know this isn't the time, but what am I? Like that. So yeah, but I'll find it on the next one.
I can tell what he is. An afterthought.
Oh my God. All right, Jonathan.
Sorry. I like him.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Good. And you?
Yeah, great. This guy, I like this movie. I think Akasan, you're right. Remember, there was a lot of criticism about Wanda's quick turn to the evil side.
Yeah.
And I was like, one of my favorite parts was that reveal, like that she was the villain.
Yeah. I
loved it.
I love that. And I was heartbroken at the same time. So they did a good job of
because it was basically the best way of explaining, look, you're not dealing with Wanda anymore. This is the Scarlet Witch. Now, the one thing that I really wish they didn't change, and maybe it's because they were shooting it differently, and maybe because they already had filmed scenes, was the Scarlet Witch's leggings in WandaVision actually had these inverted triangles that were going up. That was really cool. But in WandaVision, in the Multiverse of Madness, it was just a black leggings instead. So maybe it was
the costume was different.
Yeah. So her costume in WandaVision was actually much better. I really liked it, but I can also see where it kind of looked a little too Magneto-ish. So it's all good. Yeah.
So did you guys? Is this your guys' favorite film in Phase 4 with Shang-Chi and all of the other ones?
For sure.
So for the reminder,
without No Way Home, technically no. Yeah.
So No Way Home, we don't count that.
Right.
Okay,
if we're not counting No Way Home as
Shang-Chi,
right?
Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
Eternals and Black Widow.
Oh Jesus!
Wow, forgot.
Wow, Black Widow. Yeah. Then by far, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Now, if we're counting No Way Home, then by far, No Way Home was great.
Yeah. For me, I like Shang-Chi and Multiverse of Madness.
It was cool, but I feel like in terms of impactfulness,
impactfulness, this one definitely.
But I think No Way Home was much
Shang-Chi had
bigger. Yeah.
So are you guys still into the whole multiverse stuff? Because there's a lot of multiverse with Loki, with this, and
you mean
are you guys not tired of the whole multiverse thing? Or are you still?
I feel like
I don't feel like they've done anything with it for me to dislike it or love it enough to be like, oh, I wish this, or it's like I just don't think we've been introduced to enough of it for that.
Yeah, and then I also feel like we're just getting started, and I think the only one that I've been disappointed on was Loki. That was about it. So
look, I'd say out of the Disney Plus shows, Loki, as impactful it was trying to be, I feel like it was light.
Yeah.
But I'm also happy that it was light, because if it was heavy like Multiverse of Madness, I think this would have been too much. Yeah. Too much too soon.
Yeah.
So how would you guys rank the Disney Plus shows, like your from favorite to like worst?
So I'm not doing all that. WandaVision is still the best. Loki is the most disappointing. Okay. But Hawkeye was probably the most average. So yeah.
So you guys like Moon Knight then?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, fair enough. So what would you guys want to with Wanda's character like after this movie? Because obviously she's not dead. So would you want her to stay a villain, or would you want her to be redeemed? Because she killed a lot of people.
I would want her redeemed.
There's no. For me, it's the same as just like with Batman. There's no redemption for her. The best thing that she can do is just continue to try to be a better person.
So you don't think she should be part of the Avengers then?
Nah, she's done. She's done.
She's done.
She's not invited to the cookouts no more.
It would have to be
her fake ass kids are invited to the cookout before she is. So she's done, and I like that about her.
As an Avenger, but if she were an Avenger, she'd have to have something happen story-wise, not special effect action-wise, that makes it make sense, and or it's a matter of what happened has been redone through reality via magic.
Right. It would have to be recon the same way as with Batman, Snyder's Batman.
Or almost like a snap where what happened didn't happen.
Right, exactly.
And she's like, I saw the error of my ways and I can't let this continue happening, or this is horrible, and fixes it that way. Otherwise, I'm like,
she made the choice and she's got to live with it, and she understands that, and I like her better like that instead, because otherwise she was always kind of neutered when she was on the Avengers. So
because she was like the most OP character there, but underutilized.
Right. So it's fine. Yeah.
So did this film make you more excited for a Fantastic Four film in the four? Because there's been like really bad films. So does his performance make you more excited?
I wouldn't say that's more of a performance, but I'm definitely interested in seeing what they do with it because of John Krasinski's character and the actor himself. Whether or not I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait for Fantastic Four. I haven't seen anything that makes me get super hyped about it, but I am interested in seeing what the story is going to be.
Yeah,
I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan anyway.
Yeah, and I think that's also one of the things that you got to remember. Unlike Black Panther or some of the other people that have cameoed in the past, we've had multiple Fantastic Four movies already. So it's not like, I think people need to also kind of realize that it's not going to be a super hyped thing. Like Fantastic Four is not going to be like, yo, $1 billion out the gate type of deal. Like it's just gotta possibly.
I think it could be because it's being handled by the same person that's been doing the MCU.
I get that
because it'll be a very different interpretation. From what really does,
right?
Hopefully,
it would have to be. The only way I could even foreseeably see that is like Fantastic Four with Kang or something like that.
Yeah, like
but you can't do the Doctor Doom route unless literally Doctor Doom is like Cillian Murphy or something like that, or like just like somebody that like like Christian Bale calls up his former Dark Knight dude and like, yo, dude, this MCU is pretty dope. You got to join in on this.
Not joking. If Tom Hardy was like, I'll play him. Yeah, so because I mean he speaks muffled.
So I don't know. Like I'm excited about it, but Jessica Alba as Invisible Woman will always be my top tier. So
no, Emily Blunt because she's
yes.
I don't.
Yes.
She's all right. Like she's not. Nah, she's no Jessica Alba, but
So like that Drake meme.
So do you guys think enough time has passed since Infinity War to bring back like variants of like Chris Evans and like Robert Downey Jr. as like?
I think enough time has passed, but I don't think the story is necessary at this point.
Yeah. But what if they're doing the multiverse stuff and they're going to bring in like other universes, like they probably have variants.
If they did it in What If, I'm fine with that. But as far as the films go, I would say wait longer. Wait until Secret Wars, because then that makes more sense. And you've given enough time to build these new characters.
Yeah, it hasn't been long enough.
You don't want to take from them.
At least give it some time, like Days of Future and Past or something like that, so we can actually be excited. If Robert Downey Jr. came back, I'd be like, he barely left, dude. So it hasn't been long enough.
How many years has it been now?
It's only been like 3 years or 4 years.
It's only been since COVID.
Yeah. So it's like, since COVID, basically. Yeah. We've been a little preoccupied.
I'd say give it a minimum of 5. 5 years, 5 years
10
or more.
For me, yeah.
The only reason I wouldn't say 10 is because for some people, not just age out, but some people are like, I don't know who that is. Because you're dealing with as silly as it sounds, you're dealing with a generation that had not seen those movies.
Okay.
They're seeing these as their
fair enough
Avengers kind of thing. So
cool. All right.
Thank you guys. See you guys later.
No problem.
Appreciate it, man.
Much appreciated.
Thank you so much. All right. So let's move to the next one. Shoot.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm just gonna start with Moon Knight.
Are those from Fast and Furious? Sorry, the car's behind you.
Oh no, it's just like little.
They're Transformers.
Mercedes, Porsches, Corvettes.
Okay.
Cadillac.
It's cool.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I used to collect cars when I was little, and these were like enough of that. So Moon Knight, I liked it because I didn't know much about the character. I had a friend who was like giving me a little crash course on it, and I really liked it. I liked the duality between Steven and Mark. I almost wanted more episodes because I wanted to see like that struggle with Mark and Steven and sort of like that duality between them of like who kept the body. But I really like how they did that. I like how Steven feels like he can't trust Mark because of what Mark has done in the past. But like with episode 5, you can kind of see like both of them sort of understanding one another, even though like Steven was essentially created off of the past of Mark and the abuse that he faced. He's basically in a way the happy side of Mark. Like whenever Mark wants to feel like a normal person again without having to deal with all the mental abuse and trauma, he goes in Steven and wants to live that happy life that he never got as a child. So I really like that. I liked that beginning episode of Moon Knight was really good in my opinion. The whole introduction to Moon Knight, I thought it was really good. I just wish there was more episodes. I really like it. I hope there is a season 2 of it. But like with how they introduced Jake Lockley at the end, I wish they would have done it earlier if they were going to do it like him being in like a one particular scene. But other than that, it was good. I liked it.
I could have been. I would have been happy with 8. I mean, 10 episodes is doable. It may have been too much, but at least another 2 episodes or so, I think, could have been good because you can get more into the story. And like you mentioned, Jake Lockley's character, another scene or 2 with him just to show what the dynamic of his character actually is.
I agree. I'm not like asking for like any 13 episode Moon Knight Netflix Marvel show. Like maybe a good 8 episodes because you can also introduce Jake Lockley in like episode 7 or something like that.
Right.
And then you can just go into episode 8 with like that whole finale with Harrow and Moon Knight. So overall, I thought that was great. Definitely in my top 3 in terms of the Disney Plus shows. First one being WandaVision, second one Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and this one being Moon Knight. And then fourth is like What If, Hawkeye, and then Loki. Because of that ending of Loki.
I keep counting What If in the Disney Plus shows because it's animated. So my brain looks at that as a different category altogether. So I just don't count it with Disney Plus TV shows because they're all live action. But
whatever.
Now that you mentioned
like Star Wars Visions. All right, what about Doctor Strange here?
Doctor Strange, I just went to go see it today for the first time.
Oh, nice.
And initial reaction out the gate, it was definitely different from a lot of the other Marvel stuff that I've seen. Definitely really like a lot of horror stuff, gory. This is probably the most gory Marvel movie that I may have seen in a while. And it's not like we haven't gotten any gore in other past Marvel ones. This is just escalated the gore with like more Sam Raimi's style. Wanda,
it's odd that even to hear the term gore, but it's fine. It's like I don't want to dispute it, but I would say it was violent. But I don't know.
Yeah, it was violent. It's not like
we didn't have things torn apart. Like
but
I guess you're right.
Being half there,
it wasn't like people were getting eaten or something like that. So.
Well, it's not like any kind of Quentin Tarantino.
That's true.
He pulled the
it's not like any kind of Quentin Tarantino chopping dudes' heads off with like swords and blood smearing all over the walls or anything like that. But it was more violent than others' movies.
Okay.
As far as like the characters go, I feel like with this phase, especially, we're getting a lot more personal stories than like the past Marvel movies that we got. Like with WandaVision, we have the feeling of emptiness and her being broken after the whole events of Endgame, and basically her trying to like wanting to have a happy life because she never got that. She lost her family, she lost her brother, she essentially lost the love of her life, so she just wants to feel happy for once in her freaking life. She never got it because this damn scientist took her brother and her brother and basically turned them into lab experiments. So I like WandaVision's with that sort of personal story, and I like how in this one, I even said it in the comments, she's basically like her actions was like her of a mother. So like a lot of her decisions was a bit of those motherly instincts that all she wants is her kids.
Yeah,
like I'm not a
based
father.
On loss.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not a father. I don't know what it's like between a bond with a child, but like me being a son, I know what I would do if something happened with my family. So I can only imagine what Wanda had to deal with, especially with suffering these many losses in a row, that now she's just like, fuck this. I don't care about saving the world anymore. I just want to be happy. And if doing these heinous things makes me feel happy, and I don't care who I have to kill or what planet I have to destroy or who I have to take over to find my happiness, I will do it.
Which of course is sad because at the end of the day, it's like taking out other people and forgetting that they too have families, or that, they have someone in their worlds that care about them. It does a disservice to her initial reasoning for doing it, but at the same time, it's one of the few times in the MCU, at least for me, where they've had a villain. Them like, wow, I actually feel bad for this villain. Given, yes, later they do some horrific things, but before they get to that point, it's like, I feel bad for her because she's hurting. Just like Killmonger, before you find out about all that kind of stuff, his childhood, he had some stuff happen. It's like, he's hurting. So just the way those two are written is like, wow, it's deeper than you usually get in films for villains.
Yeah.
Or anti-heroes, depending on how you want to put it.
Yeah, and essentially you're like, her intentions are not wrong, but just her actions.
Her methods, yeah.
Yeah, her methods like have very severe consequences.
What is grief if not killing a bunch of sorcerers? Sure. Right. Anything else, Ashu?
Just another question, because like I was also saying this in the comment section as well. I want to talk about like No Way Home and this one. A lot of people are saying No Way Home is better than Multiverse of Madness. Do you think it's better because of the story, or is it because it's better because of fan service? Like we have William Dafoe's Green Goblin, Alfred Molina's.
I mean, No Way Home. No Way Home is better because of obviously it's more exciting because of the fan service, but that's also something that you can't recreate over and over again. But I also feel like No Way Home tells a really good story about we don't realize it, but we are watching the origin of the definitive Spider-Man right now, which is Peter Parker, and Peter Parker making the hard choices. Doctor Strange has that as well, but yes, it's also a little lighter in terms of like, is Doctor Strange happy? That's about it. Doctor Strange's life doesn't change that much after all of this, but Peter Parker's changes dramatically. So I feel like overall the story has more impact regardless of the cameos and such.
For me, I'm the opposite to a point. Enjoyed both of them. The fan service, and I feel like both of them had lots of fan service, but No Way Home, fan service wise, did a good job. Story wise, given that we're getting the definitive Spider-Man, as he put, I also feel like there were some scenes that happened. And it's like, well, you made that choice. It's your fault. Had you listened to this person or listened to yourself, this wouldn't have happened. But of course, those are things that have to happen in the story for the character to realize later on down the line. So I also get that. WandaVision felt a little bit more personal because it wasn't tied to several different versions of herself directly. Because the main person we dealt with was, at least so far, what we think is the 616 version taking over the body of another person. So we're still dealing with one person who's going off the rails, as opposed to dealing with several people who've gone off the rails and trying to bring everything back to normal. Because at the same time, with Doctor Strange being at the level of power that he is, especially in No Way Home, for him to mess up the spell so easily, I'm like, really? I know you've been gone for 5 years, but in your mind, you think you were gone basically just from a blink of an eye, as opposed to actually 5 years. Your power shouldn't, deplete, so to speak.
I was always wondering.
Now, if they say that happens in the MCU, then I'd like to hear it sometime soon, because otherwise I'm like, you shouldn't have been able to mess up that spell just because, can you add this person? Can you add this person? Because you're the one controlling it, not Peter. So that always kind of bugged me about that specific scene. Sorry. But I still enjoyed both of them.
All right. Cool.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, man.
Actually, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I always wondered, how long was Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme until Infinity War? Because
I want to say he wasn't.
Did he but I think he became it after the ancient
maybe in his
died.
Mind.
Yeah, but did he ever have the initiation? Because he never got the book either.
He never got the book, and no one ever did the formal bow.
Right.
So it's like he didn't. He was just there.
But I think maybe he called him. Maybe you're right. Maybe in his own mind because he's
arrogant.
Because he was telling Thanos like, you've come face to face with the Sorcerer Supreme. Right. So yeah.
And because Wong was off somewhere else. Because
hold on. Now, here, I think I found it, guys. Here we go. This is actually funny though. Wait. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's a little.
It's not really in sync. But
It's a little edited, but you guys get the point. Like, so
Yeah.
it's so that vision is a part of her, but which I believe is a piece of the. I'm pretty sure they cut some of that, a piece of the Infinity gem. All right, here we go. Moving on.
Yo.
All right, what's up, Ronan?
How you fellas doing?
We're all right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I know it's late over there for you. You look tired as hell.
It's all good. That anime art convo was
yeah, you're usually the first to call in, so you're like, damn it. And you're
no,
like,
it's
I'll
all
never
good.
be late again.
Yeah, I was working on something else. But yeah, Moon Knight. I really dug the show. I recently read the Warren Ellis run, which for those who haven't read it, I highly recommend that run. That's bonkers. And I put in my tweet or somewhere, I said the MCU has just got a gem of an actor by getting Oscar Isaac to sign up for Moon Knight. And I really appreciated how he could bounce off between Steven and Mark. Yeah. And Layla, I mean, before she got the superhero suit, I was just like, she is awesome. I'm compelled for her. I understand where she's coming from. And yet I know she could take everything on her own. And when she got the suit, I was just like, go for it. I don't know if that's from the comics or not. Go for it. I don't know where this is going, but do it. And
that was cool.
I liked it.
I know some people had issues with the first 3 episodes, and I'm like, I like the second episode because that's when Mr. Knight was introduced. But I think episode 4 was the Indiana Jones vibe episode, and then 5 is that's next levels. For me, episode 5 of Moon Knight and Doctor Strange were a good step in a different vibe direction from what we've been used to in the MCU for me, and I appreciate that. So thumbs up for Moon Knight. I like how it ended. I liked what it alludes to, and we'll see if Oscar Isaac gets some good scripts to come back for that. Go for it, Lee-san.
No, I was saying it would be nice because like you, I enjoyed him being the character, and I thought he did a fantastic job.
In the Multiverse of Madness, this is my favorite MCU film after Endgame concluded. After the Infinity War saga, out of the new movies, this is my favorite film. It's up for grabs. Which one is the best has been out, and this is gonna sound hypocritical. And I don't know if you guys have brought it up, but I still think, as much as I enjoyed the movie, after Endgame, there should have been at least a 5-year gap of no MCU movies. I said just do TV shows. I know you'd be like, what? To me,
no, but I'm actually interested in seeing where you're going. It's like,
The reason why is just because it felt such like a good bookend to that build-up of years. And I feel that right now the best way to get people still connected with the MCU is the TV shows. And then after a few years of no movie, the first movie comes up.
Go back into the movies.
Yeah, that way the fanfare, when that kicks in, it's a big deal. Because, I mean, I still get excited when I see it, but it's not as
not as powerful as it used to be.
Yeah, and I remember I had similar feelings with Star Wars when after the sequel trilogy came out. That I'm like, the films were the films, but I remember it was a different vibe to what I'm used to watching a Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie after what Endgame did. So that's just it's hypocritical a little bit, but I feel like restraint in that venue could have helped out maybe a little bit more, but this is the same guy who really dug Eternals compared to how the rest of the world felt about that movie. Multiverse, I like the title, but for me, the film should have been something like Doctor Strange meets the Scarlet Witch. The madness was felt. It feels
D
like
versus S.
Yeah. Well, no, at least it feels like an old Universal monster movie.
DVS, yeah.
Oh, DVS, there you go.
DVS, I like it. Doctor Strange versus Scarlet Witch, yeah.
And I like what they did with Wanda and the Scarlet Witch. I mean, I figured that's a route they could have taken after the end credit scene of WandaVision, but and again, this is the one who really dug the film, and I can't wait to see it again. I think emotionally, Wanda / Scarlet Witch what her journey went through in WandaVision is way better than what she went through in this film. And for me, Stephen Strange's journey in the What If episode, where it's what happened to Strange's heart, is way better, or at least stronger than what he went through in this movie. I think there are good parts where they hint at stuff of like, it's a question, are you happy? I think it's a cool thing to throw out, but 2 hours and 6 minutes, not that I'm saying I want the director's cut and I want 3 hours. I'm not saying, alluding to that. I'm just saying that there would have been nice for moments in the movie to breathe out more, I think, for me. And I'm not losing sleep like a lot of people are in the internet about like they killed the Illuminati. First of all, shame on the marketing. Shame on the marketing. They spoiled Xavier out the door with that, which would have been nice if they would have held back on that. And Captain Carter was being alluded to. And the one thing I didn't see coming at all, Black Bolt. I was just like, that came out of left field.
Like I thought Inhumans were just like poison to touch again.
But I think that's why they used them also because there's kind of like we just mentioned about having a period of time of something not being touched for a while. So Inhumans wasn't really dealt with outside of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
So like let's throw them in there because you needed to have at least a couple original members of the Illuminati.
But I am very curious to see if I should watch some of the American reactions, like theater reactions, to see if people were like, it's Black Bolt!
Or they're like, who's that?
Be like, who is what? Fork guy? Like, like whatever.
I was the only one in my theater that went, oh my gosh, Anson Mount. It's Garkaton, whatever his full name is that. And people are like, what?
Captain Marvel, people were like, I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought that, like, until he told me, I thought that Captain Marvel was the daughter from WandaVision, and then
Monica.
He was like, oh no.
He thought it was Monica.
I thought it was
Monica.
Monica.
That's Maria.
And I was just like,
who?
Oh, I was like, who was that? Oh, the other black chick. Okay, cool. I guess that makes sense time wise.
Yeah, that because she had the title before Carol Danvers.
I was just like, whatever. Is she dead?
Photon, I think, was her nickname. Yeah.
Which I'm like, disrespectful.
And I think as me saying that there should be a weight gap between after Endgame, I appreciate, even if it didn't, it was a home run for everybody, Marvel took it in a different direction where I didn't know what was going to happen. I couldn't predict where we were going to go. I thought Wanda might have turned good 30, 40 minutes before the movie ended, which is usually something I catch up. And I just appreciated that. And the moment where Wanda tells the Scarlet Witch to know that they will be loved, I was like, all right, that was some like perfect acting and writing and directing in that instance. And I love what Raimi brought in with the cameras. I'm like, that fits Strange in his pocket of the universe.
I heard that. Well, I was gonna say I heard that in other languages it was translated a little differently, where it was like, know that they'll be loved in every universe like that. And I was like, oh fuck,
that's even deeper.
Yeah. Like the Spanish version was like that, or something like that. Like,
why didn't you put that in the English version?
That's what I heard, but like it was very interesting because the whole because the thing is possibly Strange says it to his girl. And it's like, I love you in every universe like that. So it would have been redundant doing it in English.
Repetitive,
Yes.
So very interesting.
Well,
but anyway, regardless, I
agree.
It worked.
Emotion-wise, it felt deeper in WandaVision than this one, but this one felt more traumatic.
And a side tidbit. So the scene where the kids are like throwing shit at Witch Wanda, and she's just like, stop it. That's actually her. Like that was her real feeling at the time, because one of the kids accidentally hit her in the face with one of the props, and it pissed her off. So she used that anger and actually snapped at the kids for real. And then the kids felt it, and she felt really bad about it, but she knew
she needed it for the scene.
But she knew that was probably going to be
job, because I thought she was pissed.
Yeah, she was. She was actually pissed.
Like, she did that really well.
Yeah.
Now hearing that, I'm like, even better.
So because she was saying in an interview that she felt so bad about it, like they all had to take a break after that scene, because the kids were the kids have never actually seen her be like that real, and that was her real expression
Ladies and gentlemen, method acting.
Right?
That is so cool. That is so cool. That actually happened.
Yeah. So and then when you rewatch it again, you're like, oh shit, she really is pissed, dude. Like,
I liked it.
Yeah.
If that scene is just like this minimal dialogue and just her presence, that's all you need to hear. See the kids react to her compared to Wanda. Oh, it's beautiful.
Her talking to herself in that scene kind of felt like Mark talking to Steven. At certain points, just because it just had this grounded feeling of emotion that made sense.
Now the real question is, who is touching Elizabeth Olsen's face like that? Lucky man. Yeah. That's what I want. Yeah.
The multiverse of Elizabeth.
Multiverse. All right, Ronan. Anything else?
I'll say that yes. I mean, the argument could be made, and people have already made it, that like it feels too similar to what she goes through in WandaVision about the kids and whatnot, and that's what's unique about this movie. That as much as I really enjoy it, I go back and forth. I'm like, was that a strong thing to latch onto for 2 hours, and what to go? And I always say that WandaVision was so good for me that even you alluded a little bit to that showcase of that scene, that when she says goodbyes to the boys, she says, "Boys, thank you for choosing me to be your mom." I'm like, okay, that you can make it work. Yeah, it's just I don't know if it's I don't know if it's editing or pacing that felt too sudden. That like, I'm the bad guy, deal with it. Don't piss me off, and I'll kill all of you.
Her reasoning was a little paper thin, but I also feel like they just didn't really have any other like in theory, possibly, as people have alluded to, maybe it should have been Mephisto or something like that, controlling Wanda, influencing her. But I do feel at the end of the day, it makes a better story that she is the one. She made that choice to corrupt the multiverse and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Agatha. I could use Agatha, and she got the.
But I like the fact that I like the fact that Scarlet is more controversial now. So
yeah, she definitely is.
It makes the payoff a lot more for WandaVision, I believe, because it
makes it more human. Yeah,
people always were saying that she needed accountability for enslaving that town, and this is it. So
I think so. Yeah.
Now she needs a movie where she's going through the motions of trying to deal with that and trying to make amends, even though it won't happen. But
I wouldn't be surprised if they pull something out of like House of M down the line. We get House of M, so possibly I don't know if it will be it shouldn't be a Doctor Strange movie, but if they make a Scarlet Witch movie, are they just they literally call it House of M?
Yeah,
something,
or just call it House of M.
House of M influenced type of movie. So WandaVision the movie or something like that. Right. Wanda Dreams or something like that.
Make it cast
where basically Wanda gives everybody what they want, basically.
Yeah.
And that very much could be the concept, because in House of M, what it was basically the Avengers and the X-Men teaming up, because the Avengers wanted revenge. The X-Men wanted to find her ass for eliminating most of the mutants on the planet. And when they finally tracked it down, she started House of M and gave everybody what they wanted. So that would be kind of cool to see whatever Avengers were getting at that time. Yes. What if it's multiversal type of situation? Like, there's everybody from 838, they probably want revenge too. So who knows? We might get something like that. That'd be very interesting.
I agree. Yeah, and
it would be very
I shout out to Wong and Steven in this movie for constantly. Yes, they were in polar sides with Scarlet Witch, but they kept trying to reach and be like, Wanda, this isn't the way. And to me, that's what I love about the mystic arts, dark magic side of the MCU. That people love Spider-Man, God bless them, they love him more than I do. But I lean into that side, and they're like, with the weird magic stuff. If there's a movie where you can have a fight scene with music tones
with
or music
notes,
lyrics, notes, and you get something as human as that in moments, I appreciate that in this film.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. That was one of my favorite scenes using special effects to watch, just because it felt very different.
That was cool. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Ronan. Appreciate it.
Good chatting with you guys always.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Cheers.
Yeah, because like that picture right there looks like the universe that Strange and America were going through, where they were like cubes. It looks exactly like that.
They pulled this off somewhere else in another MCU movie back in the day, but I just don't remember what it was. But
Infinity War,
it was,
when they go against Thanos, and Thanos basically,
yeah. I think
Drax goes
Drax. It was Drax
to rush him. He's like,
yeah. House of M, man, that was a fucking crazy book, dude. I
But
remember when it first
the
came out, people
costumes in it were
hated
awesome.
it, but man, I loved it. I mean, literally, a king sued Marvel or something like that because
they're saying that they're
the artist actually did lift it from an actual king
Ooh.
for Magnus. Yeah. It's he actually took it from
Magnus.
It's not this outfit, but it's one where he's just like chilling and shit, and like it's an actual portrait thing, and that dude like legit. But that guy, the artist, has actually been called out a few times actually for this image right here. So this was actually here we go.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, this dude like legit lifted it from this guy, dude.
That's not
King
cool.
Carlos. So they got kind of mad about that when they took some of that stuff. So
I'm like, at least
change
something.
I'm telling you, but yo,
Damn,
could you imagine?
Inspired by
I'm just saying, could you imagine if they like if you think this was crazy, just imagine if there is a House of M and Wanda creates a perfect family and you see Ian McKellen come back as her father. Like,
dude, not joking.
That would be fucking wild.
I'm so on board with Magneto being their parents as opposed to that weird retcon crap they did, because it feels flat. Them being descendants or children of Magneto just makes more sense. Just makes more sense.
All right, we're gonna try to. I want to really burn through these because we actually do have stuff we need to record. So I want to try to burn through these as quick as possible here.
That's right, buddy.
The Stranger. Oh my god.
Hey.
What's up, man?
I'm laughing.
Chillbane.
Because I wasn't expecting that thumbnail. I was like, oh, that's kind of.
It's funny. Chillbane. What's up, man?
Hey, so yeah, Multiverse of Madness. I didn't get a chance to see the movie, but I did pretty much see it all on YouTube.
Yeah, because
I honestly don't blame you. Between YouTube and Twitter, you literally could put the whole movie together at this point.
The only thing that you'll be missing is like the main score.
Yep.
Yeah. So my favorite part of the
my favorite part of the bootlegs clips I've seen.
And that's even worse when you can get to the point where my favorite part of it.
Okay, what was your favorite clip? Go ahead.
Where Wanda tells Steven, you break the rules and you consider a hero, and I do it, and I consider the enemy. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, it was that, and just the way she says it, I think it was just like hot.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, Stephen Strange, you lucky.
Okay.
You lucky magic user.
I thought that he was going to be this like annoying little like kid sidekick that was always going to be irritating to me, but I actually wound up really liking her.
American Chavez.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, in the clips you probably saw, yeah, sure, yeah.
And,
that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't wait to see the movie on Disney Plus.
Okay, just wait about a month. It'll be up there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Moon Knight. People are judging the finale because they think they pulled an Arrowverse trope of
how so? What do you mean? Sorry.
Of giving a normal person superpowers.
Oh, you mean Layla?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because in season 2 of Arrow, they basically did that with Laurel.
Oh,
okay.
Black Canary.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Anyway. Okay. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody say that, but I don't think there's enough fans of the Arrowverse to even make that comparison.
True. Yeah.
Ouch, man. Really?
It's been 10 years and it's dying a slow death now.
Just for that, I'm gonna go pee.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah.
Giggle.
Yeah.
But that was it. But you enjoyed it, right?
Yes, I enjoyed it, and so the writer of the show came out and he said that if Jake Lockley would have been in more episodes, they would have given him the black and white outfit from the
black and white outfit. Okay. Of Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one, but I'll look it up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it's season 2. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, which I think that's the best costume.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of like an inverted thing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. Awesome, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. But the finale I felt was there should have been more episodes. I feel like episodes would have been the right number. And the original number of episodes for Hawkeye was 8, but they cut it, which I don't get why. But yeah.
I think a lot of it just has to do with contracts, and also they're trying to play it safe with COVID, because the longer they go into production with some of these, somebody gets sick, it delays things. So I think they were just trying to play it safe and try to keep it nice and concise and move on to the next project. Honestly, so that's probably the way it came down at the end of the day. Instead of having it like these like talking episodes where nothing's happening or something like that. And I think they really learned their lessons from the Netflix Marvel shows, not to expand it for too long. Yeah,
because those Netflix shows just dragged out.
Yep, very much so. Yep. Well, cool, man. I appreciate the call, stranger. I love the profile picture. Yeah. All right, have a good one.
You too. Talk
later.
Later.
Chillbane.
Who's Chillbane? Is he a wrestler?
No, Chillbane was Killer Frost's on and off boyfriend.
Oh, in the Flash?
Yeah, in the Flash.
Oh.
You know, did you know she's dead now? Like she died like 2 episodes back or something like that.
Oh well, thanks for that, because I was gonna watch.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were. Yeah,
I was in a hurry.
But I think Caitlyn's still around, so like, so it's like why?
Yeah, that's the old school.
Yeah, so that's supposed to be what they were saying Jake is gonna wear.
Oh yeah, because he's the inverted version of that.
Right.
Because he's basically dark.
All right, Deshaun.
What's up, Deshaun?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hold on, because I'm trying to get out the house right now.
Oh, okay. Because like that sounded.
Yeah, keys. Yeah.
Someone's getting keys thrown at them.
My bad. Yeah. My girl is hounding me, Kassan and DC. Son.
All right.
She wanted to see Multiverse Madness.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm good now. Sorry, I had to get away from her. I had to smoke the herb a little bit.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Because my girl is bugging. I thought that was me. My bad.
Go ahead. It's all you. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Because my girl was bugging me. She got a crush on Doctor Strange and shit. So, you know, these kind of things are awkward for me because we be going through it. You know.
We know. Yeah. We know.
It's always like this. It's been this way for like the whole relationship now. And I could be called an insecure dude for what I am, but I could just say, in my opinion, that I just think I'm searching for deeper love.
Okay.
In my opinion, how can you be somebody's wife and everybody's queen? That's to me that don't work. But
unless you're Daenerys.
So yeah, nonetheless, Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah. So I went.
Did you like the movie?
Man, I hated this movie, yo.
Why?
This movie okay. First of all, I think Aka, you blinded by all the black and red that was in this movie. So I think that's why you fell in love with it, because you felt that red-dreaded energy. And you was
Was
like,
there black?
Because I'm like, wait, does
When
it
was
mean,
there
does
black
it mean
and
you got a
red?
thing for Elizabeth Olsen? Because if
Yeah.
so, he's talking about me.
Okay.
'Cause-
No, that's
yeah.
true. Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen and big ass titties and everything. Yeah, black and red. I'm with it. Then consider me blinded.
I
by
wasn't
the
gonna
lights.
go there, but I'm like,
Yeah,
it's her eyes. But
yeah.
Yo, I met
Okay.
her once, by the way. She mad cool. Mad
Yeah,
cool.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Small
Yeah.
though, really small. Like I thought
Yeah,
she was gonna,
she's small.
she's like real small, like Drew Barrymore small, but like Drew Barrymore in like the 2000s small kind of thing.
Same height as yours.
Oh, really? So why didn't you like the movie?
Yeah.
All right, first of all, the Illuminati was stupid. Like,
Okay.
these are supposed to be these expert fighters. These are supposed to be these experienced warriors, but yet the first thing Reeve does is tell her exactly how to defeat them. That pissed me off right there. I was like, yo, what kind of writing is that? Now, they could have made a simple mistake. Maybe, it doesn't mean they perfect, but it's like that mistake is like something I don't know, a soldier,
like a novice person would make a mistake.
Yeah, and I think also like it felt rushed. Like the fight scenes, like even them fighting, it was soft to me. Like I wanted some Majin Vegeta versus Goku shit, or like some Hulk versus Iron Man shit. Like there was no mess made. Hardly any messes made when they fought. These are two gods fighting.
Oh, well, there was a mess made all over that lobby.
True. I mean, you kind of had that with Captain Marvel and Wanda. That was kind of the Dragon Ball thing going on.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, I just looked at it
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, King.
I just looked at it like she was dealing with people that she really didn't care enough about to give it time, and she was it Mr. Fantastic. His mistake was the mistake that their Doctor Strange made, being too confident.
There you go.
And too cocky, because given he's supposed to be the smartest man in the room, but he came off, because dialogue was, he came off really cocky. And I think that was a product of their universe, because that's the mistakes that Doctor Strange made, and it basically ended up being on them.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, great. What film is that?
So that was kind of the main thing, was it wasn't enough action or something like
Where'd
that.
that luggage come from?
Yeah. No, go ahead. So it wasn't enough action, right?
Not that it wasn't enough. I don't want to say it wasn't enough action, because I'm a rare kind of dude. Like I don't need action, like a ton of action. I don't need like tons of it, but I'm cool with at least good action. Like if you got 3, maybe 4 fight scenes, then I'm cool. Like and if those fight scenes stick out, then I'm good. Even if it's a 3-hour movie, like Lord of the Rings is some of my favorite film, and some of them,
thank you.
They ain't got the best fight scenes, and some of them,
But some of it is interesting though.
Yeah, exactly. So like
having fight scenes and action in the movie is nice to complement the story, but the story shouldn't complement the action. So it shouldn't just be an action film. It should, be based on the story.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, hopefully the next one will be better for you. I hope. Yeah.
Yeah, and even like the Wanda thing, like I was in the theater with my girl, and I don't want to be disrespectful or anything, so I'm not gonna say anything crazy, but her Gucci was twinkling when she saw Doctor Strange and shit. And when we deal with that, I'm already in a bad mood, so I'm like, okay, maybe my perception of this movie is bad, but I'm like, nah, because she didn't know anything about WandaVision. She didn't know anything about that show at all. So she was confused. She was like, what? Why is she doing this? And that was another problem with this movie too, is it accepted the idea that somehow everybody was watching that shit. And also another one thing that grinds my gears the most is I watch like 30 reviews of this movie, and everybody keeps saying the same shit, like Wanda, Doctor Strange is a hypocrite. But like he had to do that shit. Like he wasn't. He didn't want to. He didn't want to. Did he have to? Thanos the stone. Like he was hurt over that shit. That shit depressed him. So it was like,
Yeah, he didn't want to. He didn't want to die like for 5 years like that. Yeah, you know. So
yeah, he was just blinking.
And
then Wanda's generic guards pissed me off too. So I don't know. Like I guess everybody got their opinion, but I don't know how anybody likes this movie.
Sean, say it one more time. Her generic what?
Oh, the generic guards that were guarding Wanda.
Yeah.
The
devil-looking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Every comic book, we see them in everything.
Yeah, her doomsday soldiers.
Yeah. It was the only way. Well, I'm sorry you didn't like it, Deshaun, but hopefully the next one will be a little better for you.
That and I say, if you get the chance, try watching the movie again alone or with one of your other friends, because you might feel differently about the film. Not that you'll like it more, but you might feel differently about it, because I think part of the your first experience was a bit tainted by the
Gucci Chin killing. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, but DC sound like that's my thing. My last question to you is like, you seem like a man that gets down. Like you seem like you be catching everything. I don't know your situation. You could be mad for, so I don't know.
Okay.
But like,
what's up?
What am I supposed to do when my girl is basically like, you know,
excited when she sees somebody? I look at it like this.
Every famous dude.
I look at it this way. In truth, at the end of the day, she goes home to you. So whether
does she, you know, spiritually does she?
I'm like this. You don't think about you don't think about another person all the time, 24 hours a day, and wake up to someone else and be happy.
Maybe, man.
You don't. Now I could see that it could be frustrating because you feel like challenged or anything, but I would look at it as motivation to keep doing keep doing better by yourself, because that just makes her happier because she sees you winning. And if it comes to where it's like she doesn't feel that you're winning enough for her, maybe it's time to move on, because you need to be with someone that does appreciate you. If someone's looking at a famous celebrity, I mean, they're just looking, no big deal. But they still go home to you. The thing is, you have to be happy in your own skin.
All right, man.
All right,
yeah.
All right, man.
Take care, man.
Yeah, hang in there.
Take care, Kings.
Yeah. Later, man. Okay, there you go. All right.
The last son. Just moving.
By the way, shout outs to those that
chat waiting.
Everybody waiting.
Thank you, guys.
We're getting to you. We're getting as quick as possible. But shout outs to the person who recommended I look up Rachel Adams. I noticed that. I was thinking in the whole movie, I'm like, is she wearing like a thong or something when she was in that like?
No, she's not. She has an athletic build.
No. Was she wearing a thong in the in 838, because that suit was showing like no panty line or nothing, but she was looking nice and thick, and so I looked it up on Google, and then like I was like, okay, like, you know, I think this is. Hold on, I gotta double check.
Because look, she's
hold on, I'm just double checking to make sure.
Brother.
I think I can show this. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, yeah. I mean, I didn't know she was packing like this, y'all. I did not know she had all that going on, y'all. Like, there you go. Yeah, she thick in any universe. That's right, Barack Obama. All right, let's go. Last son. What's up? This one.
The Scarlet Witch.
There you go. We should would you do a would you rather or something like that? Smash our pass. All right. So from the Miles Morales game, the motion capture, we got the last son here. How you doing, man?
What's up? Hey, DC Son and Yakuza, how y'all doing?
Good. Yeah, good. Nice poster.
Yeah. Oh, appreciate it. Yeah. You know, gotta rep Marvel out here, you know.
Yeah.
But man, where do I start? Okay. Obvious thing, Doctor Strange and the Madness of Multiverse. I liked it a lot. Kind of wish that Reed Richards wasn't so cocky, so Black Bolt didn't just get off so quickly. But one thing I did appreciate about the Illuminati and all that was we didn't basically get a lot of it, but we got to see how Black Bolt's powers worked and when he killed Strange. And I thought that like the CGI and the effects of that were actually pretty cool. So I enjoyed that part of it. So I'm glad we got to like see him at least use somewhat of his power before he just got killed off. But
I liked
Doctor
everything
Strange
that
is
seemed except the wheelchair.
yeah,
Professor X's
yeah.
wheelchair, I thought was just way.
It was a little
It was
extravagant.
way
Yeah, a
too
little too
damn
much.
big.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
yeah.
like, if it was
Yeah.
a four-seater, cool. Otherwise, it just felt too big for the scene. Personally,
Right.
sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Like
It was a Zack
does.
Snyder inspired
Hey.
wheelchair. No, super big, over
If it was a Zack
exaggerated.
Snyder inspired thing, there'd be more stuff on it.
And dead bodies.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah, for sure. But for the most part, I really liked it. I liked Wanda's journey through it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little irritated because I had a whole huge debate with my friend over like, is Wanda wrong and everything. I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, you can't just like kill a teenager and take her powers. Like
True.
at the end of the day, that's the bottom line. Regardless of what you're going through, that's a life, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just how I see it. But
No, you're completely right, and that being the life of a child makes it worse.
Exactly.
Taking the life of a child, so two others could just like, that's not good.
Right.
Yeah. So, but from that, from a CGI like special effects standpoint, I feel like at times the fights were like the beginning fight at Carmitage, like when Wanda was flying in the air and stuff. I don't know. It kind of took me out of it, like her close-ups when she was like going back and forth, and they were like tracking her out in the air. I don't know. It kind of took me out of it for a second because
It felt like the first.
I didn't. A little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy that part of the special effects as much. But other than that, I thought the fight scenes were pretty good and everything. So, but for the most part, I really enjoyed the movie. Now, whether I knew who that purple lady was at the end of the end credit scene, I was so confused. I was like, wait a minute. I've read Marvel comics my
Welcome to
entire
the club.
life. And I've never seen this woman in my life. So I'm just like, okay.
I think
It's
for everybody,
Clea. They
but
put her in purple because she comes out using purple energy. It's a little too on the nose,
right.
so they put her in a purple costume. And the disservice they did by doing that is it confused the hell out of us. But she is in a purple costume in the more recent comic books, which I didn't know until after we had the discussion, and I looked it up, which is what he just did.
And also, I think one of the bigger things was like what threw off a lot of people is the fact that like what is her name? Charlize. She chose not.
Yeah, Charlize Theron.
Yeah, she chose not. She chose not to go the white haired look. Like it was kind of white, but kind of blonde. Was her hair like straight white?
It was straight white.
It looked a little white.
Right,
it looked a little white, but I felt like it had blonde accents in the hair though.
Yeah, like it wasn't like white like this and like short. And to me personally, when I see I picture, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to her, but I picture a younger actress or just a younger person. I'm not saying that Charlize is super old though, but you know, it's showing. And like again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just saying as like what we've kind of been catered to in most of the MCU and most actresses, the women usually are fairly young when they first start out, with the exception of
you grow with the character.
Exactly,
kind of
with the exception of Selma Hayek and Angelina Jolie.
And Hela.
Exactly.
In Hela, but that she's all makeup out. So
for me, I thought the casting actually fit because at this point in time, Strange is much older, wiser. You see that I get that. Picking someone that seems a bit closer to, I guess, his MCU visible age, made more sense because if they cast too young, people would complain.
I don't know. I think like maybe because I've seen her as a witch before, especially in the Huntsman.
That's right.
And she just always seems to play like an older woman kind of
right.
She's just
older.
fine.
So that's why I'm not saying it's a miscast. I'm just saying it was a weird little match. I was like,
Yeah, no, I get you. It's just like I feel like what throws you off is you don't really see Benedict like with her in a scene together like that.
Correct,
Right?
Right, yeah,
yeah.
like
I understand.
He's a veteran actor. She's a veteran actress.
So
I think it'll work. It's just that scene looked like so off. I was just like,
we talked about that earlier, and it's like maybe they filmed that first, and then filmed the movie,
right?
Or it was filmed separate because of COVID, because that's like 3 years.
And I would say the same thing as if, like, for example, Wesley Snipes showed up in the same situation, and he was supposed to be like, I'm like, wait, who the fuck is this? And then later you find out that was brother Voodoo, and you're like, wait, what? Like that,
right?
You're like,
right,
you know, Wesley Snipes is kind of a little too old to be playing Brother Voodoo in my mind. So you know, that's all I'm saying. So yeah,
right. Oh no, I definitely get that for sure. But and then so for Moon Knight, I really enjoyed Moon Knight. Like I really loved it. First of all, I think it has like some of the best soundtracks we've heard in a while from Marvel. Like most definitely. Like I've listened to that Moon Knight theme at least like 10 times already. And it just gets me every time. I just like the gravitas of it. Yeah, me too. I have it on my phone. I got it on my Apple Music playlist. Like it's there, man. And so it's just like really fun. And I really liked how they didn't shy away from like showing Mark and his trauma, because obviously I feel like before Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4 with John Walker, before he just killed that dude, I feel like before that, Marvel was still like lighthearted, and you know, it didn't really have that much like
playing it safe.
Yeah, playing it safe to it. So I feel like after that scene, though, in Falcon and Winter Soldier, like all bets are off. So it was like Moon Knight, you could really go pretty much anywhere with it as far as like fighting and like trauma. And so I definitely have episode 5 as my favorite, as probably many others do. So that's definitely a great show. Moon Knight for me, I feel though, you're gonna hear it from me. You're probably gonna hear it from like 20 other people. I wish it was longer. Like I wish the episodes, you know, like everyone feels the same way. Now, when I saw that it was probably that they might not do a season 2, I was really bummed out because you know, it's like
they've
I
been
mean,
like there's no like, as I was saying, there's no confirmation that there's a season 2. The director is even saying
Hurry up and confirm it. What are you waiting for?
But the thing is, the director always said that when they get these deals, ever since I forgot which show it was, either it was Loki or something else. No, outside whatever came out, Hawkeye and all these other shows, they said when they get approached, they say shoot it like you're only getting 1 season.
Well, of course, because they want them to get to the point, and sum things up and do the job.
The contract is only for 1 season, so there's no But which is fine. I'm fine because for me, if they don't get a season 2, I'm fine. Like I'm not gonna be hurt over it.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll
be disappointed.
I believe Moon Knight can show up anywhere else, but if it gets a season 2, that's fine, because who's to say that a season 2 will be as good? You don't know. It's hard to say.
Don't, but it's like if he's put somewhere else, what's to say that his performance there isn't as good because he's not the focal point of it?
I get it,
but I feel like but I don't feel like, as far as like worrying if like Oscar Isaac's performance, it's whether if they can keep the good story going, because throughout the whole season, like it's hard to come up with new material to keep it fresh and keep audiences being like, oh, I've never seen this before and I like this aspect of it.
Let me put it this way: I like it a lot more than I like the way Loki TV ended. Like that annoyed the hell out of me because it didn't feel completed. It didn't even feel like a complete season. And I was like,
we're getting a season 2, but it's just like for a season,
and like
when
we didn't really get a full season 1. As far as my storytelling perspective, I was like, okay, way too many loose ends to call that a complete season.
Question for the two of you, since you brought that up: the season 2 of Loki, is it supposed to come out after Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Or before?
So we're talking like two maybe at least
2 years later.
Yeah. And I was that's what annoyed me the most was I was like, dude, this was not a complete. I didn't even feel like most of the story was completed. Like you kind of got Sylvie's arc, but that was about it. And I'm just like, come on, man. Like, I wasn't big on the way Loki TV ended like that.
Maybe it'll be for good reason.
And but if you need to wait 3 years for something like that, I'm like, nah, miss me with that. That's as bad as Attack on Titan. Doing part 3 of the final season. Like,
I mean, that's what
I'm not gonna listen. I'm only on season 2 of Attack on Titan, but I saw a post. I'm like, I got a notification on YouTube. It was like the part 3 announcement. I was like, wait a minute. I thought the show was over after part 2. What's going on? I'm like, now I have to catch back up and now wait again to finish the season. But so for me,
if I was an average fan, I would have, and I knew that they were going to do that with Loki TV, I would have never watched it. Yeah, I would have never watched it.
Right.
If I knew that the season doesn't end at that
the follow-up season is taking that much longer to come out because it feels like the story is just like
miss me with all that, dude.
Yeah.
All right, last
it's too many.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just. Yeah, I know you got stuff to do, but I just had one question as far as like for Moon Knight. Would you rather them do a season 2, or would you rather them like transport like that story and his character into the MCU movies?
No movie.
We
talked about it earlier. No, I don't want a movie, because if they need to do a movie, especially the way I've noticed they've been very careful about it. Like people keep on thinking that Loki TV is going to have such an impact on the movie world. I'm like, no, it's not. If
it is, it's not going to be too much later because nothing's happened.
Yeah. So, if they bring in Moon Knight into the movie world, I'm totally fine with that. But I can guarantee you they're going to be focusing on something that doesn't touch the TV show, because they're doing their best to try to make it feel connected, like bonus material, but not necessary reading to know everything going on. So same reason why the Illuminati was not really connected to anything that was intricate, because you don't they're gonna die anyway, so it's like, okay,
you just don't want overlap.
It was a nice
it'd be good. Season 2 I think would be good because of the type of character. It gives you a chance to flesh the character out, tell the story at a good pace. If it is a feature film, of course, I'd love it. But he made a good point. You'd have to redo his origin story because there are people out there that don't know the character.
Yeah.
So without that, they're like, oh, what? Yeah. Now, if it led from the TV show with hints of his origin, and it's like, well, obviously you don't say it during the film. Well, if you like this, go watch the Disney Plus series. You don't say that. But marketing-wise, if you say, hey, look, you want to know more about his backstory, watch this, then I could see that working. Otherwise, I'm happy with either, but I prefer the Disney Plus just for storytelling.
It's even like I tell some of my students, like when people like, I know somebody that went to go see the Doctor Strange second movie and didn't see the first one. I'm like, you're probably gonna need to watch that, but I honestly cannot even.
You don't really need to.
Say you must watch WandaVision, and you definitely don't need to watch the What If stuff to understand Doctor Strange 2. It helps, but it's not necessary to go along with things, So,
and I definitely feel like, even from the first Doctor Strange movie, you don't even really need to watch that either, because really the only thing that they tie in, that they keep bringing up is basically Avengers Endgame, Doctor Strange disappearing and him losing the Sorcerer Supreme title to Wong, and that's pretty much about it.
Notice they didn't even talk about the Ancient One at all in the second.
Right.
Which was an intricate part of actually Infinity Endgame as well. So that's crazy too.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Well, I appreciate it, Miles.
Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course. It's always great talking to you guys, and thank you for having me on.
Take care, man. Later. Okay. Who is Kate Blanchett, by the way? I know she was in
Hella.
the okay.
She's also Galadriel.
Right. She was in the George Clooney movie taking a shit or something like that in the beginning of the movie. She was on the toilet. It was interesting. She was like sweating because she was under investigation. The I Am Shiva, the God of Death, the George Clooney, Mr. something something. He was like an attorney or something that would go save crazy white CEOs when they fuck up to keep them from doing jail time or something like that.
Oh shit. No.
Anybody know what movie I'm talking about?
I don't. But
it's
I'm like, was it a good movie?
It was a really good movie. I studied it in film class.
Yeah, I'm like, huh?
No, it's a George Clooney, and it's called Mr. Poffelis or Mr. Snuffle something.
Definitely not Snuffleupagus.
It's something like that. But Kate Blanchett was a chick under investigation, and so this movie opens with her on the toilet sweating and everything, and like stuffing her armpits so it doesn't. It was something like that. Yeah.
Without spoiling it, did the Negan? Did you watch Nightmare Alley? And if so, did you like it?
And also, what are you talking about? You guys don't know what I'm talking about? Okay,
I know.
Hold on.
It's not the Abramator.
George Clooney. It's like Mr.
N-E-Y.
Yeah. No, George Clooney, Mr. something.
You're sure it's George Clooney?
Yeah, it's definitely George Clooney was the main guy.
So then just do George
I'm
Clooney
just gonna hold on. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Michael Clayton. Thank you. Yeah, that's what it was. I don't know why I got.
Isn't that based off like book series? Is it a book series?
Maybe Clayton.
I don't know why. I feel like that's a book series and it's dealing with like different situations.
Yeah. It was a movie. It was called. Wait, was Kate Blanchett? Now I'm starting to wonder if that was a Kate Blanchett that was actually in the movie. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Kate.
Was it Kate Beckinsale?
Maybe. Yeah. There. That's her. Yeah. She was on the toilet. Sweating up a storm and shit.
That's not Kate.
Oh, that's not Kate.
Dude. That's the ancient one. That's Tilda Swinton.
That's right. Never mind. Different MCU character. Yeah, they all look the same. Yo, but you know what? Honestly, they do look fairly similar.
Looking similar, I get.
They do look fairly
because
similar.
of their hairstyles.
Yeah.
But yeah, very different.
But nah, they do kind of look similar. Okay. So Hela and the ancient one. Yeah.
He was hella wrong.
No.
He's like they look the same.
No, whatever. Oh well. Keyshawn, save us from this conversation.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
How you guys going?
All right.
We're all right.
That's good. Well, I just wanted to ask you before we got into Doctor Strange, like,
go for it.
What's your favorite section of the MCU? Like, you got Captain America with the grounded stuff, you got Doctor Strange with the mystical stuff, and Guardians with the cosmic stuff, and even Loki, like going beyond the timeline. Like, what's your favorite section?
I guess Black Panther with the black stuff. No, I don't know.
That's the extra black stuff.
Yeah, the extra black. I don't know. That's a good question.
That's a good question because I like Captain America Winter Soldier. That's one of my favorite MCU.
Yeah, that's like the best hand-to-hand fight.
I suppose the Captain America stuff has been the most solid. I would say the Iron Man stuff, but now that's kind of gone. So
this is what I'm saying.
Starting with the Iron Man stuff was good, but I have grown to become more appreciative of the mystical stuff with Doctor Strange. In the beginning, I was like, yeah, whatever. But now it's starting
after this movie. It's like,
But even after
Infinity, what else is involved in the universe of Doctor Strange?
It was after Infinity War that I started to get into Doctor Strange.
Exactly. As soon as you seen him fight Thanos, you just like,
he blended really well. Yeah, like Sean is saying, it's like when he was fighting Thanos, I'm like, oh shit, he's not so goofy. Actually,
Thanos had like 4 stones.
He always came off kind of, I don't know.
And then of course Spidey's always been really good. So
yeah. Well,
okay, so what did you think of the movie?
I left the movie theater thinking I was okay with it. I was actually okay with it. I was okay with it.
That's fair. You don't have to be crazy about it.
Yeah. I just left with a lot of thoughts though. Like the Illuminati. it was just weird to me, like how they just died like that. And
why is everybody so upset over this? I'm just like, whatever.
I'm not upset over it. It's just I expected more.
Underwhelming for some people.
I mean, you know, honestly, I think a lot of people should have seen that coming. The moment Marvel started promoting them in the trailers and giving it away, I was like,
you knew they were going.
Yeah, I was like, okay, they ain't gonna be that hype, I guess. Like,
here's your hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah, it's just...
but I don't know. But everybody also thought that, if they were like, if Marvel's just giving this away, imagine what else they have in store, and that's where people got kind of hyped.
And then everybody got fucked over, and then
basically.
Like I went in, I'm thinking I'm gonna see at the very least, a Deadpool cameo, and then didn't even get that. But then,
I get it.
Well, technically, you did. When Black Bolt's mouth was sealed shut.
Oh God!
Because that's like
true.
Weapon
X.
That's basically.
That's true.
They did
basically.
That.
And even
we did get we got the animated Spider-Man. Like every cameo that people wanted to see, we got in form of scenery. We got the Savage Land. We got Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's New York for a brief second. Because you could see the taxi cabs were kind of like the yellow color that I almost felt like you got the Danger Room for a quick second.
That's what the white drones were.
Yeah.
Thank you. That makes sense because the whole time, like,
I feel like you got the Danger Zone. You got the paint one. You got the future.
There was one pyramid looking one. I didn't know what that was.
2099 world, the Spider-Man 2099 world.
The one underwater.
The one underwater, I was gonna say Namor, possibly.
You had the beehive.
Yeah. You got the hot. Yep. So it's like.
So you got
like you went through a lot of multiverses, but you didn't really spend a lot of time.
Yeah, but you didn't stop in any of them. So that's the thing we've been back and forth on. Some people were like, I wanted more time, at least in one of those. And I didn't mind it when I watched it.
Like the only other universe they were really in was
Atlantis. Thank you. Yeah. Exactly. But it's like I felt like it was fun because I again, as I said, even with Legends of Tomorrow, it's kind of like it gets a little redundant, and even in a TV show, you're just like, okay, it's fun, but each time it's the same situation. And they kind of mentioned it in Multiverse was like, first things first, nothing, get food. And Legends of Tomorrow has kind of that same situation. It's like, okay, let's prepare for the plan. Let's stick to the plan. Expect the plan to get out of hand and redo the plan. And every episode is kind of like that. And Sliders was the same thing. So, you have to expect like,
you don't want to overdo it by jumping and hopping.
Exactly. And you have to keep doing it at each time.
Too often.
Unless leave that, honestly, leave that to Fantastic Four, leave that to possibly Ant-Man. Maybe we're gonna get that with Ant-Man.
I'm just glad at least we got Fantastic Four. Like
this is not something that Doctor Strange needs to be dealing with, like time travel and multiverse stuff right now.
Yeah, but you would seem like that would be his thing. Like nobody else would.
Is it? I feel like that's a Fantastic Four situation or an Ant-Man.
Like traveling the multiverse.
Him traveling the multiverse, I could see.
He's a mystic guy. Yeah.
I see him doing that with the person at the end of the movie. With Clea, because that would make more sense because she's actually from the dark multiverse. So the two of them working together makes more sense than him doing it on his own to me.
Fair enough.
Because there hasn't been enough Doctor Strange in that type of storyline for it to make sense.
And again, I think since we're dealing with all of that if we're dealing with real true multiverse sort of storyline, there's nobody better than Kang. Because they've already teased that in Loki TV, and the guys swear to God, if they need to make Loki TV pay off, they probably should have Kang be dealing with the multiverse all the time.
So we're getting Kang. It's like they teased him in Loki, and then they just hint about him in every series.
What the fuck is that Ant-Man story called, anyways?
Ant-Man and the Quantum Realm.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. Okay, it's called Quantum Mania. Okay, so it's called. So hopefully
Future Mania
deals with that. I don't know.
I'm like this. Having him in Quantum Mania, I'm perfectly fine with. If they don't introduce him in this form, they introduce Doctor Doom for like Fantastic Four in between,
right,
and then do this after, I'm okay with that too. Although I would prefer to see an Ant-Man movie sooner than later, because the last one came out. I think it came out.
Yeah, it's coming out this year, I think. Yeah, Quantumania.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
it was 2024.
Is it? Did it get? Oh fuck!
Yeah,
because really?
Yeah, I could have sworn it was really. Like at the back
its original date was 2021, and then for whatever reason it got pushed
back. Fuck!
So
wait a second.
So we're supposed to get like Wakanda Forever and Ironheart all before that.
So wait, then Loki comes out.
And Iron Wars, yeah.
So we're gonna get Loki season 2 before Quantumania.
Yeah, we get a lot of stuff before Quantumania.
Okay, fuck.
But it's supposed to wait. So like here, it's like February of next year.
Okay.
If it sticks with.
And to answer your question, Magano, yeah, the Kang we're getting is he's gonna be much different. The dude behind not to spoil anything, but behind the scenes, he's been walking around shirtless and everything, and so we're gonna get like the Conqueror dude, like he's been like he beefed up a lot.
Just shirtless with his mask.
Yeah. He'd be looking like a slave out there, like like carrying some cargo or something. But I think we're gonna get some good stuff. So yeah. I'm surprised. I didn't know that. Okay, Ant-Man is dropping next year. Okay.
So how did you feel about the visuals in Doctor Strange though?
I thought it was good. Well, 3D was pointless.
From 2/3 on, great. The first half, kind of like you said, it felt a little flat in some areas.
Yeah.
But it fixed itself by the end. That was a nice.
I really like I felt myself liking that Gargantos fight more than I actually.
Is that the eyeball thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. Yeah. Like I would have loved to have seen like a nod towards Marvel versus Capcom or something like that. Maybe that technically was with the whole side scroller thing when he split the bus in half. But it was
for me. It felt like it was a nod to Spider-Man 2.
Oh, okay.
It felt like a Spider-Man-esque scene by the way the wall was done. Or the side of the building was done.
I could kind of see that.
Her breaking the top of it because I'm like, wait, that happened in Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, he referenced a lot of his old movies.
But it felt like that, but not in a bad way. Just the 3D that we saw it in didn't really matter in the first.
Yeah, it was just that was pointless. The 3D.
Yeah, and I also like how the more Doctor Strange we see, it's like the more his cape gets a personality.
Yes.
Like because you see his cape is punching him in the face, trying to wake him up.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that I didn't really notice it the first time, but the fact that the cape was always still around, kind of like the Spawn costume, where first it was a handkerchief and then later it was his
scarf.
It was a scarf, and like when you sit back and you just see how he just easily flings it out, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
When I first saw that, it immediately I thought of Power Rangers. Like it's like he jumped off the building, and he morphed on his way down.
When he jumped out from the balcony at her
wedding.
Was
thinking Spawn.
I was thinking.
I totally thought Spawn because that's the way his cape appeared when he. Because I even
said that in the there. It's like Power Rangers. Really? Here's a question for you for Doctor Strange. During the scene where he's actually fighting the one-eyed demon.
Yes.
And for some odd reason, that one extra that's on the motorcycle rides up directly at that thing and gets thrown. Do you see where the rider goes? Because you see the cape go with the bike. I think the rider went off in the opposite direction to the left. I'm not sure, but you never see
so much on the screen at the time. I couldn't even
did the rider survive, not survive, or like what happened? Because
I'm looking at tentacles, I'm looking at bystanders.
He got stuck in the multiverse.
It's like, man, that dude just got squashed or thrown. It's like that sucks.
That was his one moment.
There you go. All right, Keaton, anything else?
Last question. Are you guys excited for Ms. Marvel?
No.
I feel like that's for everybody. Like you're still gonna watch it because it's the MCU.
It was the Ghost Rider. I like that. No. Sorry, the Ms. Marvel. Sorry. Yes, I am actually.
That's the TV show. Right?
Yes, I thought you were talking about Captain Marvel, the third.
The Marvels.
Because I haven't heard anything. I don't know anything about it.
So, nobody knows anything.
Yeah. So, but actually, Miss Marvel, I'm willing to give it a shot. I don't think it's for me, but
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
willing to
think it's
give
for
it a
me either.
shot. Yeah, but it's not supposed to be for me. So it's like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
I
Watching a
just
little
always
girl
felt
grow
like
up? Like
it's basically Mr.
Naomi.
Fantastic. Like it's basically Mr. Fantastic powers, except you don't see Mr. Fantastic growing.
I just looked at it as like they're, like you said, trying to get another demographic that hasn't been focused on specifically. And I'm interested in seeing it just to see if it ties to She-Hulk in any shape.
And also, at the same time, it's like, I know there's a lot of controversy about them changing her powers or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm like, most of these people didn't give two shits about her in the Avengers game as well. So it's kind of like the people that are so upset over these changes and how they're changing the character, like you're not the people that they're targeting anyway. So
that they may have changed her powers to help explain something that's already happened.
There's a reason. Like, look, 10 years in the game, and Feige, at this point, there's reasons they do things for the greater good.
Yeah, and plus you got to expand. You can't always use the same characters.
Exactly,
and not just that, you're doing the exact
they
same
milked
thing in the comic
the
book.
whole Avengers cast for 10 years.
And that's also a good point. It's like, look, would people really be this upset now knowing what they saw in the Multiverse of Madness? The fact that we do now have an officially introduced Reed Richards means that they were definitely going down the line of like, okay, we don't want two characters that are fairly identical to each other, so let's change. It's better than to change Miss Marvel than to change Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, they better not fucking change Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, because then it's like they have the same powers,
right?
And it's like,
so people are getting upset over Miss Marvel. Okay, well, you want them to change Reed Richards instead? Nah. So
now his brain stretches.
All right. Well, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate
for
you
calling
guys.
in.
You guys have a good night.
Hey,
later, dude. Peace.
All right, dudes.
All right, here we go. Hello, Michael the Collector, 98.
The sound is
yeah. We don't hear you yet.
Can't hear you.
But we saw you rocking out earlier. Nope, we don't hear you yet. Nah, well, while Michael fixes that up, what I will say is Doom. I would love to see if Doom's not part of the Fantastic Four fighting, because I honestly don't want Doom fighting Fantastic Four again
because it's been done already.
I'd rather him go up against Doctor Strange or something, because Doom is a very he's not the same level. We heard you for just a second, dude, but we don't hear you at all.
There was a little bit.
Nothing yet. We'll let you know when we hear you. What people don't realize is that Doom is a very well educated sorcerer. Like, this dude has gone back in time and now we hear you.
Hello?
Nope, now you're gone.
Did you?
Damn. I feel bad.
You can plug it back?
Almost. Nope.
Whatever you clicked, you were there for like a brief second.
Nothing. Man, now we're just okay. Man,
who's been here for like 2 hours waiting. Only to not use rocking his mic and everything. And now we're echoing.
Echoing into the multiverse.
Multiverse. I'm sorry.
Multiverse, baby.
There you go.
Who said multiverse, baby?
I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're still echoing, but we can hear you.
Okay. Do you have headphones?
I can get some. Hold on.
Yeah. Because we're
definitely not doing this. In the multiverse. Oh, and he just lost him.
Did he unplug his
computer?
He
just disconnected himself. Oh shit. Oh.
Wish this movie actually showed the real power of Doctor Strange and Wanda. I get that they are really powerful and have access to magical artifacts, but they do really little as far as magic goes. It's true. Plus, I mean, Doctor Strange, he's really not that.
I'm telling you guys, like if they do it right, man, Doom would be so good.
Do you feel like Strange hasn't hit his real potential yet? Because for me, I feel like he hasn't hit it yet.
I know
not
what you're
just
saying.
Because he's been out of practice, but I don't think that he has been up against enough opposition
I think
outside of Thanos.
No, you're right. It's funny.
Reach that next level, like Goku. He gets defeated,
I know what
comes
you're
back
saying,
and he's stronger.
but I think he has.
I don't think he's going to get stronger.
I don't think he's peaked, but I also think that he's. It's weird. Like magic fighting is not the same as like hand to hand, so it's always seems kind of weird because it's just like, oh, they just make up shit all the time, you know?
Yeah, but that takes energy and power.
Right, but when we're watching it on screen, even when he was fighting himself, it was like, okay, they're just doing notes and such. But that's why I feel like Doom would be good. Because
it'd be a nice counterbalance because Wanda is similar.
No, it's just that. Okay, well, hold on. Michael. We got to come back to you, dude.
We're seriously
okay. I feel like because Doom doing magic, Dr. Doom doing magic would be the best way to really differentiate MCU Doom from all the Fox stuff.
From the stuff that happened before, because he didn't really do
correct. So him being a magic dude, like people just don't realize how good Dr. Doom really is.
You think they'll do something on these lines? Hang up?
Michael, I don't know what to tell you, man, but
the sound is echoing back. Whatever you did in the settings is
like I don't know what to tell you, man, but
did you get
hold on, see if you can test it out, and here, let's try it. We're gonna try last call. They will need to connect their mic and cam. Okay, so whoever is under here listed as last call, that's not gonna work because you have no microphone or nothing. So none. Goodbye to you. And Michael, we're gonna try you one more time. Nothing. Well, it's all right, guys. Appreciate it, Michael. You did your best. I'm sick.
I feel bad.
I'm sick to the fucking tears of Wake Bros crowd. Okay.
I
don't know
what do you mean.
I don't know what. I don't know what he's trying to say, but
Mike, what do you mean?
I don't like.
He can hear us, right?
No, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, your devices aren't connected, last beer, so there's nothing you can do. I can't even add you into the chat even if I wanted to. Somebody keeps on calling in saying last beer or last call, so it's like, yeah. And Michael, I don't see you at all anymore, man. So I mean here we go. Right. I mean the dudes who keep saying this woke over and over and over. Yeah, I get you on that, man. Like, I personally think that Thor or Lady Thor or whatever, Jane looks fucking amazing, dude. Like that. Did you see that shot where them side to side and Thor looking like player 2?
No.
He looks like the Marvel vs. Capcom variant
he's looking like player 2.
He's looking like player 2.
You need that variant costume.
Yeah, like, when you're like, oh man, I got the red one. Like, oh man, I got yellow Thor. But I'm not saying it's bad though. It's just that Jane looks fucking hot, dude, with like the way she's been working. There is nothing sexier than like a woman with a little bit of muscle and fitness to her legs and her arms and everything. Hell yeah, dude. Like, yeah. So and Natalie Portman has always been beautiful as well. So it's like, it is what it is, dude. Guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Michael, we're gonna give you one last chance here. Matt Murdock.
Is he
working through the multiverse here?
Nah. Is he speaking into the mic?
Nah, I think he's trying to, but it's not working, dude. Yeah. Yep. Till next time.
What? Hey there. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Whatever you did, don't touch it.
Okay.
Leave it there.
Now,
you were that close.
Yeah, that fucking pissed me off. Oh my god.
You were sitting for 3 hours, actually. That's crazy. Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. You're the last one, dude. So the floor is yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
You forgot what you were gonna say, yeah.
No, partly, but I'm catch up to it. The one thing I have to, I was looking behind the scenes stuff I found interesting. The whole because I didn't think it would happen. The whole Tom Cruise superior Iron Man crap.
Yeah, I never got into. It's like, oh, he's there. Okay,
I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't think he was.
I was expecting it a little bit. I was hoping so.
But the writers recently confirmed that they did consider the idea. They actually called.
Exactly.
They were like, could we try it? And they were like, we could, but he's just too busy. That was the problem.
Yeah, like people would have been so mad to bring this dude in just to kill him. Like nah.
Yeah, we got Secret Wars. They could have the whole Illuminati get revenge through him because they didn't say that there was a or not.
Yeah, and I also feel like, again, I mentioned it earlier, it's like Marvel is very careful about this. Feige's really careful about this. He wouldn't want to. Yes, he could introduce a variant of Iron Man, but why when Robert Downey Jr. is still around? And if they really, if it was intricate to the plot, they just bring back Robert Downey Jr. And that kind of negates the point of Endgame at this moment in time. So,
unless he plays his brother. No, really. Unless they in that universe, Tony didn't make it or Tony didn't go down that path,
and that's fine. Yeah.
Did.
I'd be fine with, but you don't need all that just to bring Tom Cruise in. Yeah, no, it's all good. No. Yeah.
Then if you did that, I'm like, their budget is like the roof.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So as you're saying, Michael, you were sick of all the woke people out here.
Yeah, like literally, like that, and also like I heard that the film was taken out of Saudi Arabia and China because it had two barely even 10-second moment. Yep. My two moms.
Her two moms because they're like, oh, here's a flower in your hair.
Yeah.
But because they referenced them as moms.
Yeah.
That's why they said no.
Yeah. Oh well.
Wow.
Oh well. I mean, whatever. But at the same time, I
get it.
At the same time, I respect the culture of the way they do it, but at the same, there will be sacrifices for that. They want to keep it. I feel like some of that is virtual signaling from Disney and Marvel or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, didn't Disney have a whole "don't say gay" situation? So I'm like, you can't have it both ways, Disney. Like, it's like, okay.
Better if you have countries that are sensitive to specific scenes. Of course, not every director is going to agree with it, but just cut that part. Edit it a different way, cut that part so so your fans still get the movie without having to suffer. It's like, well, like you said, it was like 10, maybe 15 seconds. All right, take that out. They still get the movie itself.
I mean, that is an interesting thing. Should they cut it just to have it out there so fans can enjoy the movie?
Of course, I understand why people would say no, because I am a believer of you should enjoy it how it's supposed to be viewed, how I filmed it. But at the same time, from a marketing standpoint or a company standpoint, it's like, well, we still want to connect with our fans, so let's take that out and they get this, because that's what they used to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well,
it's an interesting debate, actually.
I never really,
because it wasn't really that important it wasn't intricate to the plot.
No.
So if you do cut it out, it's not like you're losing.
You're not losing
anything in the movie, but at the same time, like I said, it feels like it's virtual signaling by Disney to be like, well, we just want to respect the artistic value of it. I'm like, well, I don't know. That's an interesting thing. I don't know. Never thought about that.
And something else, like I was thinking, it's only part related to this movie. Did you hear? Was it Ian McKellen said that he would be interested in making a return? Yeah,
and playing Elizabeth Olsen's father.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like this. He'd be crazy if he wasn't.
I mean, the thing I'm thinking of is, what would you prefer, him, Fassbender, or a new actor? I honestly would prefer a new actor.
Ooh,
I would say Fassbender.
I mean, you could just
only because this version of Professor Xavier was in the other Fox movies. So having Fassbender there, if you're going to continue doing multiple movies down the line, sure. If it's going to be a one-off, if it's a one-off, then Ian McKellen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, also with the age thing, you could just make him look older.
Yeah, and not just that, but he's from a different time period, so he doesn't have to be that much older.
That's a good question.
I want to see.
Never thought about that.
I want to see the Magneto with that freaking mullet. I want to see that version, man. The long white hair, looking like like a, I don't know, some Jedi mixed with Darth Vader. I love that look.
Well, interesting enough, like I wonder if if they even thought about, instead of bringing Patrick Stewart, did they even think about bringing in
James McAvoy?
Thank you. And would
possibly
that, because
maybe
I'm not gonna lie, honest to Thor, part of me was a little sad when I was seeing Patrick Stewart walking around, because he looks fairly ganky and lively in Picard season 2 and whatever, but when they showed him in the Illuminati, I'm like, oh my god, he's really getting up there in age. But I wasn't sure if they were doing that on purpose or not. Like,
so you would have given him a padded suit.
I'm just like, and then when they want to snap his neck, I'm like, no, my grandfather. Yeah. So like, if it was McAvoy, I don't know. Interesting.
Part of me would be happy with McAvoy if it's a matter of it being a different timeline or universe. That way his age wouldn't be a factor. Otherwise, having Ian McKellen there, I'm all for, because Charles Xavier, this version, was the same as Ian McKellen's.
Yeah,
it'd just be nice to see those two on screen again.
I think I'm gonna agree with you. It's like, I'd rather them go for the younger cast, if only if they have plans to continue them down the line.
Right.
But outside of that, like Michael was saying, just recast everybody is easier. We really learned that, because this was the same argument with Andrew Garfield, was like, trying like Sony really wanted Andrew Garfield to be in Civil War, but MCU's there. Kevin was like, yeah, we're just gonna create, because we want to create something that we can grow off of fresh.
Now, I think he could have worked in that movie. I think
he could have.
He could have worked, but it just wouldn't have been as seamless as I know Kevin he likes.
Because I think it's more of a matter of doing being like within a 10-year span. So even if it's only 3 movies, you're gonna need 1 to 2 years in between.
Yeah, and he don't want to follow up Amazing Spider-Man 2. That freaking
yeah, and so this is the thing a lot of people need to realize. It's like just too much baggage. Whenever if you're going to bring in any X-Men from the previous stuff, it's just so much baggage that
Deadpool is kind of the perfect exception, though.
Only because he's somewhat because he's only related in theme only. He actually is his own thing altogether. Yes, he's mutant, but he just doesn't feel like X-Men from Fox.
I won't be surprised if in the 3rd movie he looks right and just says, "Oh well, the mergers happened. I guess I'm going to do crossovers now." Something
like again, it's something that I think people really need to remember, is that the MCU has really been. Not everything is perfectly planned, but they really try to keep it as seamless and nonsensical as possible. So even with the multiverse, they really try to make it as understandable for the average person to get. Comics may be out of control, but they like to keep their stuff in line. Anything else, Michael, so we can wrap this up and we can go home?
Just 2 small things. One, I was hyped as I was internal dancing when I heard the X-Men theme when he arrived. I was like, oh my god, that was great.
Which again, I think was kind of fan service, but
it was perfect. I loved it. And also, I'm a really good lawyer.
Nice.
I'm sure. Jay King would have to. You guys can have a lawyer off next time. He's currently in some sort of hell backdrop thing. I don't know what he was doing there. But all right, Michael, appreciate it, dude.
Yeah.
See ya.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for hanging out for so long. Yeah.
Be kind. Bye, everyone.
You too.
All right, man.
Take care.
Later. Jay King said, "Give me back my shades." Yeah. Right. Yeah. He does the lawyer thing too. Yeah. So, guys, that's it. Last beer. It says your devices are not connected, so there's no way you can jump in. So, oh well. Damn. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. This was a long one.
It was fun.
We got to do some death battle stuff and a few other reactions. I need to lock in for him. The next time, does anybody know, is Obi-Wan a Wednesday or is it a Friday? Or sorry, is it a Tuesday or is it a Thursday for you guys? Because it's Tuesday for you guys, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's both.
What? It's both.
Is that depending on what side of the country you're on, kind of thing? Is Friday for us?
Obi-Wan is for what? No, hold on.
Shoot, man,
That's not good. That's not good. Wait, Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Give me a date.
What?
Hit where it says season 1. Right, come down.
Yeah,
right there.
Season 1.
May 27th. That's the same day as that's Friday. Yep, that's the same day as Top Gun.
Fuck.
So technically,
so that means that's going to be Saturday for us. That's not good at all. That's
Are you serious?
That's not good.
So you guys will be getting the reaction on Monday.
Oh no.
Who approved this?
Oh no. And then you guys said after that it's going to go to June for so it'll go back to Wednesdays.
Okay, so basically
wait. So it's going to be on Wednesday, which means it's going to be Thursdays
for us. So the first 2 episodes are going to be on that Friday. Then after that, scroll down a little bit. After that, so it was the first, that'll be Wednesday our time. So Thursday their time.
So Thursdays is Obi-Wan then. Uh-oh.
Oh no, it's
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, guys. We might have to change So
what we'll do is we'll do 2 episodes. We'll do 2 episodes per review.
Lady Yaka is coming in, giving us the stink eye for some reason. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know, guys. We have to think about that one because normally
screws up the schedule.
It really is bad because I work on Saturday and Sunday like locked in.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the same for me. I'm like a super.
Damn.
We'll figure it out and let you know.
I don't know. I don't know. I have no answer for that one, guys. I have no answer for that one. And then the boys possibly. I don't know.
That's the boys is June 3rd here.
June 3rd.
Yeah, because that's what's posted for the theaters at little ticket.
Right. June 3rd,
which is a Friday because you guys suck.
Which is a Saturday for us.
Who does?
This is terrible.
So for us, it'd be like.
I'm so surprised they're doing it like this.
So that would be what, like midnight for us, is when it would actually launch on our side as opposed to 4:00.
What?
So you know how when we watch stuff, it's like it's up by 4, right?
Yeah.
So with this timing, since it's a Friday,
it'll be 4:00 still.
So it'll keep that time.
I'm sure.
It'll keep that time
because it'll be midnight drops. Yeah. Which is terrible for us because it's like the only thing that we possibly can do is meet up around 7:00 at night or something when I get home from work or something like that.
That's gonna suck. And
and that's
got
weekend
filming
time.
in between. Yeah, we'll figure something out. And let you know.
Guys, you may not get reactions. I'm gonna be honest about that. You may not get any reactions.
Or if you get a reaction,
it's gonna
like
be super light.
A 2-episode reaction, and that'll be 2 times during that season or 3 tops because it's gonna be hard to put together.
Shit. Umbrella Academy, Vacation Day. Not for Obi-Wan, no way. If it was getting hundreds of thousands of views, of course I could take a day off. But the Star Wars stuff has not made as much money as it used to. So I don't know.
It might after the premiere because it's 2 episodes.
True.
So depending on how, I would say this realistically, depending on how the first 2 episodes do, will be a clearer understanding of the direction of the show.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So we'll see. But I mean,
you might be right, Saifu. No, you're probably right about that with Vader as well. So
I'm sorry.
But I am enjoying my non-editing days. So what?
Vader?
What?
Vader's supposed to be in this?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I purposely don't check any of that stuff because I don't want to be spoiled. Because
I mean,
it's just too much information.
You saw the trailers, right? Some of them.
The first trailer,
with the Inquisitors.
The only trailer that they had. If they had anything after that, I don't know.
But that's it. That's all they've.
Yeah.
But pretty much, as you know, if the Inquisitors are around, Vader's not too far behind.
Well, not necessarily, because the Inquisitors could have been told to go do their job by Palpatine. Vader's not. He's not.
I know. I kind of see. No, but based on the time period,
that's what they're going with,
and they've already kind of announced that Hayden came back. So, and Ewan McGregor was already like hyping up the rematch or something like that. He's like, "Oh, you guys are gonna love it." I was like, "Okay, okay."
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so far removed from all that because I didn't even know that little bit. All I knew is that he did a little PR speech of like, "Hey guys, sorry, it's coming out." What was it 3 days earlier?
Yeah. All right, guys, we got to take a mental break.
Yeah.
We've been chatting, we've been streaming for like 4 hours now, and I really do want him to get some of the death battles done. Yeah. So you'll see him when you see him, basically. Yeah,
in the near future.
The Twitch, he's on Twitch. He is on Twitch. But he also went on a Elden Ring break.
Yeah, I'm on an Elden Ring QK. QK means break in Japanese.
Yeah.
My brain needs to disconnect.
Yeah. So but you'll see me tomorrow streaming Elden Ring and things like that. So okay. Love, peace, chicken grease. Stay saucy.
Thanks, guys.
I'll end it with a photo. Nah, I don't know.
Lads and ladies, thank you.
I will end it with a hold on. Let me find it. I'll end it on the perfect note. Anybody know, by the way, what that movie is with Doctor Strange chick's booty? Bouncing. Yeah. That shit was hot.
I don't know, but she was with was it Owen Wilson? Clive Wilson. What's the taller brother's name?
What?
There's two Wilson brothers. He plays Owen. He's Ocean Master. It's not Owen. Is it? What's his name? He plays Ocean Master. Hey guys, who plays Ocean Master in the
That's not Owen Wilson?
Aquaman movie?
Date Night, is that what that movie is? Date Night with her booty bouncing like that?
If it is, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
What's his name? Anybody?
Isn't his name Owen something?
No, because Owen is his younger brother.
All right.
Yes, the same dude that plays. I actually wanted his name as opposed to Night Owl.
All right. Anyways, it's all good.
It's
Watchmen. Yeah, that Wilson. Okay.
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson. There you go.
Thank you. Good looking out.
Guys, love, peace, chicken grease. I'm going to leave you with the way Doctor Strange 3 should end in a 3-way. We're out of here, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Later.